Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest. Oh my goodness, we're getting there, everybody. The Stanley Cup Final will start Wednesday. Edmonton Oilers were almost on the ice today at Rogers Place. They had a practice scheduled, then they decided not to skate. We'll get some comments from Matthias Ekholm, from Evander Kane, from Chris Knobloch, from Leon Draisaitl as we move through the afternoon. We're going to be joined by Jody Shelley, NHL Network analyst, a guy I've been having on my shows for several years. Great guy, a lot of fun, always some cool perspective. So a lot of hockey talk, of course, throughout the afternoon. The Edmonton Elks had their final preseason game on Friday. Regular season starts this weekend. Well, the CFL regular season starts Thursday. The Elks regular season starts Saturday on the road against the BC Lions. And we will also talk a little bit about a team that has done a very good job getting fans to its ballpark, the Edmonton Riverhawks, who start their West Coast League season tomorrow at home against the Victoria Harbour Cats. Steve Hogle. You know what Steve Hogle's title is?
Yes.
Director of Fun. We got to ask him about that.
I think we do.
I mean, we've had Steve on because when they started up, wasn't he the GM? Maybe he was the Director of Fun last season. I don't know. I mean, I was on hiatus most of last summer, as you'll remember, and wasn't talking about a lot of Riverhawk stuff. But we'll have Steve on the show, and a guy who also used to work for they weren't the Oilers Entertainment Group at the time, were they Kate's Group, who might have some perspective on what's happening with the hockey team as well. Thanks a lot for joining us. Hope you had a great weekend. Along with my dear colleague Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, and it is presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. We're into a new month, right? So we have some new promo codes for Play Alberta.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. Now, we'll be repeating these throughout the afternoon, but just to get them out here, you can get a $50 casino bonus by depositing $20 and using the code EST Casino. Is that what you have? Gonna make sure I got the right codes.
Ding, ding, ding.
You can get a $50 free sports bet by depositing $20 and using the code EST Sports. All one word altogether. So like EST Sports. And don't forget to use your game sense. Great to have Play Alberta involved. I got the Play Alberta hoodie on. These are extremely comfortable hoodies, by the way.
They're fantastic.
Like, they're just perfect hoodies
Yeah.
because they are warm.
Why do you say they're perfect, though? Because why I think they're perfect might differ from why you think they're perfect.
All right, here's why I think these are perfect hoodies.
Yes.
Because they are legitimately warm in terms of, it's a little chilly outside, so which sometimes it can be a little chilly inside. So they do keep you warm, but not overly warm. Sometimes you put on something long sleeve or a hoodie and it's like, oh, it's warming me up. And then after half an hour, it's like, my God, I got to take it off. Like, it still breathes, it seems, while it keeps you warm.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. And as you know from the few months you've known me now, I do not like constrictive clothing.
Mm-mm.
I like baggy clothes. I would sooner have a shirt a size too big than a size too small. I hate squeezing into stuff. I hate feeling, I can't move around. It's on me. And it's just a nice, I don't know, maybe people think it's too big on me.
No, it's a nice fit.
I just think it's a nice fit, keeps me warm, but still gives me room to move around.
So I like it for its lightness. It's light, but it still is, it can provide warmth. And the other reason I like it is because of the hood. The hood is not, most hoodies have a center seam down the center of the hoodie. This has a double seam. As you can see, if you put your head down, they would see it's a double seamer. And I think you should do the rest of the show like that.
I'm going to try to do as much as possible.
What's this?
I might have tied this up too close to my mouth.
What's this version of Reid called?
This is hoodie Reid.
No. What's a kid? What's a?
I don't know.
Kenny.
Cartman? Oh, Kenny. Kenny. Is that how Kenny talked? I haven't seen South Park in quite a while.
Yeah, I think so.
I just know South Park is responsible for one of the greatest soundtrack songs of all time.
Which is?
Kyle's Bum's a Bitch. Like it is legitimately hilarious. Do you know what the one? No, there's a lot of filthy songs in that. Okay, so quick,
that's not.
Sorry. Well, yeah, that song. Well, it's not as filthy. So, side note: if you're new to the program, we tend to go off on tangents.
I believe we call this meandering.
This one took 5 minutes. This one took 5 minutes. We do have a lot on the Oilers in the Stanley Cup Final. Trust me. So the summer of 1999. Okay, that's the summer I was living in Saskatoon doing my practicum at Global Saskatoon. That's where I met Onright. So, you're the practicum student and, you're like, whatever, I'll work. So, they would tell me my days off a weekend ahead of time. They'd be like, okay, next week we need you these days. So you're going to get Tuesday and Friday off.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll do it. So I really didn't know anybody in Saskatoon except the people I worked with at the station. So when I had a day off, unless, my parents came to visit me. I had a girlfriend at the time, so she visited a couple times. But a lot of times, I was there 4 months. Like, if you're off, you're like, well, I'm not good at meeting people. Okay, I'm not Mr. Social.
Right.
I don't go somewhere and leave with 4 friends or 4, phone numbers or emails of people I can hang out with.
You sure don't.
So no, I have a bit of a loner.
A little bit of a recluse.
A little bit of a recluse.
Yes.
Not quite a hermit.
No.
But a bit of a loner. So, it's like, hey, well, I'm off Friday, whatever. So sometimes I'd go see a movie. So I went and saw the South Park movie, I think the day it opened on a Friday afternoon in Saskatoon. And they did not advertise it as a musical. And, you sit down and you watch the movie. And I think it starts with that Mountain Town song. It's like the opening number. It's like, okay, well, they had an opening number. And then it's da-da-da-da. And then they do the Uncle Blanker song, I think was the second song. And I'm like, wow, there's another song. And then there was another song. And then I realized, holy crap. These crazy you-know-whats made a musical. They took the South Park and they made it, but they're into that. What is it, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, right? So anyway. So yes, Cartman. What were the names? Cartman, Kenny. What were the other? Kyle. And what was the other guy's name? I haven't watched it in ages.
I want to say Craig. I don't know.
No, it's not Greg.
It's not Greg.
There's Kyle,
Cartman, Kenny, Kyle.
There's Butters as well. I know the main 5.
What is the other guy's name?
Who is the other guy?
Who is the fourth? Give us the names of the 4 main kids in Cartman and Kenny for sure. Pretty sure Kyle. It wasn't Steve, was it?
Stan?
Stan, yes, Stan.
That was
Stan.
Yeah.
No, less in VR. It was Stan, right. So anyway, I got even Jasmine knows. Jasmine, you don't watch filthy shows like that.
I never watched. What do we?
Have you seen the movie?
What's it called?
South Park.
No, I haven't.
I didn't watch a lot of the show. The movie, quite frankly, is brilliant. Like it is legitimately funny. It is. I always feel a little bit, even now deeper into my career. Sometimes I still feel as if, should I be talking about this? Because I really try to, most of the time, respect other people's opinions. And I don't want let's face it, when I was a kid, I would listen to sports talk radio. I guess my dad would usually be around. But I don't want some 11-year-old kid being like, hey, I like Reid and Jay, and they talk Oilers and they laugh a lot. And then the kid is watching something on his iPad, and his parents look and he's watching the South Park movie, and they're like, why are you watching that the filthy language movie? And they're like, oh, well, Reid and Jay watch it. They I guess Reid.
Yeah.
When I say I like something, I'm not recommending that you go and watch it. I just think it's a hilarious movie. It's a hilarious movie.
They should have parental controls on that.
Yeah.
iPad.
Like the villains are Satan and Saddam Hussein. I mean, you got to have you got to realize.
Maybe I should watch it.
I think you would like it. This is, Satan and Saddam Hussein have a very interesting relationship in the film. And isn't that one? Don't they wind up wanting to invade Canada in that? Because one of the songs is "Blame Canada."
Yeah, they didn't like Canada in that one. There's a whole
Terrence
number on
and,
it.
because the two guys who sang the Uncle Blanker song, Terrence and Phillip. Right, so I think they somehow set off an international incident.
Terrence and Phillip. Weren't they like the off? Like their characters didn't look like the other characters?
Yeah, their mouths were slightly,
Right.
their heads like split in half when they talked. So the Canadians,
I've seen clips of South Park.
It's outrageous.
Didn't they do like I keep seeing this clip of the creators doing a live performance of the opening song or something.
Somebody put that in the nasty chat.
What's that?
Reid, have you seen the live at Red Rocks version of the movie?
Oh,
Okay,
maybe that's what it is.
Check that out.
It actually looks like it could be at Red Rocks.
So anyway, and then one of the guys from South Park, I can't remember which one it was. There's Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yeah.
I can never remember which the one without the curly hair. He was on so one of the board game channels I follow is called the Dice Tower, and he did a guest appearance on a panel at the Dice Tower and did his top 10 board games. It was really interesting to see. Yeah. So anyway, there's tangent number 1, everybody. We should have a tangent bingo card for the show. Just like Def Leppard reference, movie reference.
That's true.
Jay tells Golden Bear story. New nickname for Zach Kubish. All that type of stuff. Insult of Matthew Iwanek. Just
So either you got to go with the hood back a bit, or
take it, or perhaps take it off.
No, take it right forward,
like this.
Yeah, and like play the Star Wars.
Don't I look like Avril Lavigne now?
Kinda. I could see how people would get you confused for her.
Yeah, I could see that if people would be tuning in, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, Reid's off, and they got Avril Lavigne."
Wow.
The morning show only got Dave Jamieson. The afternoon show got Avril Lavigne. Okay, hang on.
Big Uke says Hooded Reid looks like he sells pogs in dark alleys.
Good. I can feel your anger.
We should just do the whole show like this.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
Nothing's stopping me.
Just
except my own body temperature. All right. Tell you what, here's how you can get in touch, first of all. The email.
What's going on?
Quinn Phillips is in the nasty chat. For some reason, I always feel especially heartwarmed when Quinn is in the nasty chat. You know why?
It's a good feeling.
You know why? Because she won't talk to me in real life. At least she'll talk to me in the nasty chat.
It's the only way you can hear from her. Well, she doesn't.
You can post stuff in our chat. We call it the nasty chat. If you're taking us in on YouTube.
The YouTube?
Yes. Subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk. And if you're taking in the show there today, hit that thumbs up button. Give us a like. We have so during the playoffs, so through 3 rounds, we have been over 200 likes every show except for one. That one, we don't know what happened. And I think it was at the start of the West Final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it the day after game 1 or something like that? People must have been bummed out at all those power play goals the Oilers gave up. So get in there and click. Don't be a pleasure delayer. Let's get to 200 as quickly as possible. Certainly achievable. We want to go. Jay and I had a bit of an on-air spat because he keeps wanting to raise the thing spur of the moment. And I'm not saying we don't want to get over 200. I'm just saying let's not make people feel guilty if we don't hit some, new plateau that we come up with. Oh yeah, you know what? Here's the reminder.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, there it is. Is this distracting to have me with the hood?
No, I feel a lot of place. I got to find a hoodie in the break. Let's just have a hoodie show.
Well, we'll see. I think one is enough.
Oh, no.
Like you tend to go from like, I tend to be like incremental. That's why now I'm a little worried about you trying to run a half marathon.
Why?
That because today you came in and you're like, hey, I did 4K.
Yeah.
And I actually was like, he started with 4K? Like who starts with 4?
What do you mean?
You start with 5, first of all.
No,
But
you don't. Start where you start.
But now I'm worried that
Such a weird thing to
you're going to
say.
go home Wednesday and be like, yeah, you're going to do 18K tomorrow. I'm like, don't go from 4 to 18. Go from like 4 to 7 or 4 to 6.
I just been told to keep improving.
Yeah, keep
Go
adding.
further.
Okay, but don't go overboard.
Okay,
Like
Dad.
again, one hoodie at a time is enough. 200 thumbs is a good show. Like appreciate what you have. Okay? Like for me, one working eyeball is enough, okay? I don't need to be selfish and have them both operational.
How dare you?
It's like all right, so you posted the nasty chat. Smash the like button. Give us a thumbs up. We're going to get to 200 yet again. You can email, and I already have 3 limericks in my inbox, probably the same ones Jay has. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Do I need to spell my name for people? REID. So on Saturday, I'm ordering some takeout. Okay. So I actually went.
Do you mind saying from where?
Yes.
Okay.
From the restaurant. And then I was like doing stuff nearby, and then I was going to go back and pick it up. So she's like, okay, yeah, well, what's your name? I said, Reid, REID. And she writes down REED.
Oh.
And I was like, well, in this situation, I don't need to correct it, but like I actually spelled it.
See, I thought you were going with Ried or Ried.
RIED?
Yeah.
Oh, people spell it RIED all the time. I don't get that one. REED, I at least understand. And then you could also text us at 780-914-6159, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. That is how you can get in touch. We're off and running. Again, the Oilers did not skate today, but we will get some comments from Chris Knobloch from Matthias Ekholm. I'm gonna play something for Jay that Leon Draisaitl said yesterday that I thought was kind of interesting that I want to get your reaction to. We'll dive into that as part of buying or selling for Damon Bunting a little bit later on. Connor Brown expected to play in Game 1, and Connor McDavid will be good to practice tomorrow. He left practice a bit early yesterday, so of course people were in a bit of a tizzy about that, but looks like he is all good. All right. Oh, we're doing this other thing. Yeah, this is a good one. The off-topic topic. We do it every day at this time. It's presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536.
Which rematch would you like to see most? That's it.
This is a good one.
That's it. It can be, well, the Emperor versus who? Who would that be?
The Emperor. Well, the Emperor was the Emperor. Well, the Emperor had a lightsaber battle against Yoda in Attack of the Clones. Was that his only lightsaber battle?
Could be.
Yeah, that'd be a good rematch. Darth Maul probably wants a rematch.
Yeah. I was thinking, you can have sports, movies, made up, whatever. I really think if Ivan Drago fought Rocky again,
yeah,
he would kill him.
Well, he did kill Apollo. Wasn't that the one he died in?
I just think Rocky got away with that one there.
Yeah.
I don't know how he flipped the communist Russian crowd.
Oh, yeah, because the fight was in Moscow, wasn't it?
Yeah, like they fight that 10 times. Drago wins 9 out of 10. The one fight that Rocky gets, everybody gets to watch. Like, how does that happen?
So was that the...
And Rocky kind of annoyed me. He's just annoying. He's like, what kind of boxer has that kind of physique and is that annoying? He just annoyed me.
What's their real life height differential? or as some people would say, height differential between Stallone and Lundgren. Because Stallone is actually kind of a shorter guy, isn't he?
Well, supposedly, it's quite a lot.
Okay,
What's his real
you
name?
do Lundgren height, and I'll do Stallone height.
Dolph Lundgren, right?
Yeah. Well, of course they get it in meters.
I know. Why does Google do this in meters?
Well, Stallone's 5'10", so he's not.
He is not 5'10".
That's what it
That
has
is
here.
Hollywood height.
Okay, so let's say
He's
he's
5'7".
5'8", my height.
Dolph Lundgren's here is 6'5", so he's probably 6'3", maybe 6'4".
Okay, so let's say there's a half a foot difference between them. I guess that's not too much.
Yeah,
so
like
is
they're
that
not
the
even
one-
in the same weight category.
Is that the way? So in Rocky IV, and it's been. I remember going to see Rocky IV at Village. Was it Village Green Mall or Village Tree Mall in St. Albert?
I think
because
yeah.
when we could come in from Evansburg, and movies used to be $2.50 on Tuesdays.
Ooh.
So I'd be off in the summer. My dad was a high school principal. He'd be off in the summer, so he'd be like, "Well, yeah, this is where we'll go see movies." And I remember for some reason I wanted to see Rocky IV, and I remember us going into the theater and my mom going, "Look at all these other movies, and this is the one we're going to see." And it was like this
really?
real cheesy poster of Rocky all wrapped in the American flag or whatever. But is that the one where Rocky went and trained in Siberia? And just by like chopping logs?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dolph Lundgren had all that high tech
Hearts on
Soviet
Fire
stuff.
Yeah.
And the Rocky.
Oh, yeah.
Did he actually train in
He
Siberia?
was training with all the
Yeah.
he had all the
Village
machinery
Tree Mall,
and technology on his side. Yeah, just storyline wise, probably one of the worst storylines.
So
of all
we're
time.
saying what rematch you would like to see, and you can also give us from the perspective of which person. I'd like to see a rematch between David and Goliath.
Would you though?
Like, could David pull that off again? I don't think he could.
See, that was another Rocky one. Right? If David and Goliath go at it 10 times,
Yeah.
Goliath
Should have been a
winning 9
best
out
of
10.
7. That's why the NHL has best of 7s.
That's right.
Because of David and Goliath.
Yes, it evens everything out.
Oh, my goodness. What a show we're having. So anyway, that is the off-topic topic for William Huff. Which rematch would you most like to see and why? Or from whose perspective wants the rematch?
Barry Getman says, "Whoa, Reid, and he spelled it R-E-E-D. Whoa, Reid, spoiler alert. Apollo dies?"
Sorry, everybody. Weren't we talking about that on one other show? Like, what's the not moratorium, but when is it no longer a spoiler?
Oh, like
The Sixth Sense is no longer.
No.
Unless someone says to you, especially a younger person, says, "Hey, I've never seen The Sixth Sense,
Well, then,
and I'm
yeah.
going to watch it this weekend." Then you're not going to be like, "Oh, Bruce Willis," But Coob's all upset now
Why?
because he hasn't seen The Sixth Sense.
Well, that's on you, Coob.
I have
He
a lot of
wasn't born
movies
when
on
it
my
came
list,
out.
man.
He wasn't born when it came out, though. That's
Well,
different.
then I don't care. You can't sit there and say, "Don't talk about The Sixth Sense," because I, a 21-year-old man, have not seen it yet. I'm sorry, pal.
I
That's
see
on
dead
you.
people. Isn't that the movie? I
Yes.
see dead people.
Yes.
That's a line from the movie.
No, that's it.
That doesn't.
That's the whole movie. That's all I need to know.
Just Haley Joel Osment not blinking and saying that. Or no, it was AI in which he didn't blink.
Yeah, and wasn't it Gorbachev that was in the crowd during that?
Not the
Rocky
real
IV?
Gorbachev.
No,
an
but they
actor.
had a lookalike.
Yeah.
And okay, riddle me this, Reid. A little kid from Philadelphia goes in and fights Russia's hero,
Yeah.
Drago, in Moscow,
Yeah.
in front of probably the craziest man in the world at the time, the leader of Russia, the president of Russia.
Well, I don't think Gorbachev was along the lines of some other people who ruled that nation.
Well,
Because wasn't he all glass-nosed and bringing the wall down?
it was a different country.
Yeah,
the US.
sure.
And this little pipsqueak from Philadelphia goes in there and turns them all to his side. Oh, and by the way, they're all soldiers in
Yeah, that would never happen.
there. It can't happen.
No, that would never happen.
They saluted the president before the fight. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, doesn't matter if it's in U.S. or Russia. That fight's going to Drago more often than not.
Yeah, I would say so. All right, so that is the off-topic topic. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. We're 30 away from 100. Let's rally, everybody. Let's go. Let's get it done. Let's get the thumbs going, making everybody feel good, building the algorithm for the show and the station. That's what we need. We got you covered on all your fun stuff like South Park and Rocky IV, and all your hardcore stuff like what's going on with the Edmonton Oilers. We will have some clips coming up from today's availability a little bit later on. Jody Shelley from the NHL Network is going to join us in about 15 minutes. Here comes the Coob.
Down in Tampa, the Lightning have re-upped 33-year-old Yanni Gourde to a 6-year contract extension worth nearly $2.5 million per season. Gourde was reacquired by the Lightning this past season from Seattle, potting 31 points in 57 games split between the Kraken and the Lightning. Elsewhere, Carolina's Jesper Fast has announced his retirement after missing the entire season with a neck injury he suffered in the final game of the 2023-24 season. For the Jays, right-hander Jose Urena has cleared waivers and will hit free agency. Urena was signed to a 1-year deal by the Jays in May, only playing 6 games for the club. On tap, there's 7 games. Brewers and Reds clash. The Tigers face the White Sox while the Mets play the Dodgers. Meanwhile, in soccer, Michael Bradley and David Edgar have joined Team Canada as guest coaches. Bradley is a former coach of Toronto FC, while Edgar played for Team Canada from 2011 to 2018. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. Maybe the boys will get back on topic on the other side of the break. The Reid Wilkins Show continues when we get back.
2 guys and a
How about
goalie.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Gager? Does he keep this? Does he roll out another multi-point night?
He's playing at a different level. You guys mentioned it. He's just been playing so well. He's become a playoff performer. You look at the regular season, there's a handful of guys that have done it. They seem to have raised the level of their game. They can smell it, taste it, and almost grab it. That's probably why you see where he's at right now is the reason.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Must you click? Click. Must you click? Click, click.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins, Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Just seeing an email here from the Edmonton Oilers. A limited number of additional seats for Game 1 will be released tomorrow, June 3rd at 10 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Good luck.
Get in the queue.
Do you remember calling Ticketmaster over and over again?
Yes.
Waiting for it to ring? What was it, 451-8000? Or
Yes.
was that the Lido?
No, that's 426-5050.
If you're hungry, call the Lido.
Free delivery.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good jingle.
That was a good jingle. We still know it after all these years.
We should have a jingle show one day. Coob?
Yeah, summer idea. Best old
Summer
school
idea.
commercial.
We'll have our own draft of jingles.
Yeah, that'd be. I don't know if I could remember that.
Jingles. Well, it'd have to be different categories.
I guess.
Sports, food.
What's a sports jingle though?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to define it. I was just thinking commercials.
Yeah. I mean, Pizza 73's got to be up there.
Do those creepy people from Spence Diamonds count? That's not a jingle. Those are more characters. Callum. What was the other guy's name? I can't remember.
Michael.
Yeah. Hello, Callum. Yes, Michael. I have a diamond. Oh, I'd love to see it. It's in my trunk. Why don't you get in and look? Sorry. That's awful. I really shouldn't be allowed to speak in public. All right. So, well, what did this one person say? Nathan the Big Uke. Reid looks like an older retired Eminem, just with less vomit on his sweater. Is that the greatest rhyme of all time from a song? How does it go? He's nervous. He's all nervous and sweaty. There's vomit on his sweater.
Vomit on his sweater. Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. Then I lose track of the song. That's one of those songs. The first 30 seconds is way better than the rest of the song. I don't think that's a great song, but I think it's a great opening 30 to 40 seconds.
Yeah, just with the intro.
the way it comes in and then
the verse
lyrics.
is good. Or sorry, the chorus is good.
Yeah, it's all right.
I mean, that thing, you put that on at our house and the girls go crazy.
Really?
It stands
to the whole
up.
song?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay, I guess maybe I'm just not as well, let's face it, I'm not as happy a person as most people, as I'm about to demonstrate here.
Oh boy.
A lot of excitement brewing for the Stanley Cup final that starts Wednesday at Rogers Place. We will have the Oilstream GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola live from the Canadian Ice House in Ice District Plaza at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. So I have a very small list. We might only get to a couple here. I have a very small list of things that irritate me about the Stanley Cup final.
Are you going to be a major buzzkill right here?
Well, I think people are going to agree with me.
Okay.
I think I'm going to inspire people.
How many things?
Well, we'll get to. I don't know. We'll do a couple. We got Jody Shelley coming up in a few minutes. Okay. You know what? Here's one thing that irritates me. The Oilers are trying to win Lord Stanley. The Oilers are trying to take Lord Stanley home. No, they aren't. Lord Stanley is long deceased. We're not playing for his remains. We're playing for the trophy he donated, which is known as the Stanley Cup. Do not call the cup Lord Stanley. They're trying to win Lord Stanley. No, they aren't. Lord Stanley was a person.
What if some of his ashes are in the cup?
They're not.
What if they are encased?
Then you're still trying to win the cup. They're not worried about the ashes. We're trying to take Lord Stanley home.
Yeah, that you hear that a lot.
That's incorrect.
Right. I wonder if I'm going to write one down that I think is yours. Another one. Go on.
Well, I don't know if I'm done with this one.
Oh, no, go on with this point.
Well, I'm just saying we need to correct people. Lord Stanley is on the line. No, it isn't.
So would you
Lord
be all right?
Lord Stanley's cup is on the line.
Lord Stanley's cup?
Right.
You would be all right with
if
that?
you want to fancy it up and put the Lord in there for some reason.
Right.
Then that's fine. It's the Stanley Cup. It is not Lord Stanley. They are. I guess what I'm saying is do not treat them as they are interchangeable.
You know, I'm going to listen for that now because I bet you now I'll hear that a lot more.
Lord Stanley's coming home. Oh, really? Really? Lord Stanley is coming home. He knocks on the bookbinder's door. Who's this? It's me. Who's you? Have you come to pick up a book I've bound for you, my friend? No, I'm Lord Stanley. Your hockey team won me. I'm supposed to report here. Oh, yes. I was up late watching the game last night.
Oh, Reid.
It's not... You know what's funny? Jody Shelley can currently see the show. And he's probably like, what the hell is going on? All right. We'll do the rest of our list later. Jody's ready. So
we'll have to ask Jody about Lord Stanley.
We'll do the Coob and a break, and then we'll get Jody Shelley on.
Down in Tampa, the Lightning have re-upped 33-year-old Yanni Gourde to a 6-year contract extension worth nearly $2.5 million per season. Gourde was reacquired by the Lightning from Seattle this past season, potting 31 points in 57 games split between the Kraken and the Lightning. Elsewhere, Carolina's Jesper Fast has announced his retirement after missing the entire season with neck injury he suffered in the final game of the 2023-2024 season. For the Jays, right-hander Jose Urena has cleared waivers and will hit free agency. Urena played just 6 games for the Jays after the team signed him in May. On tap, there's 7 games tonight. Brewers and Reds clash. The Tigers face the White Sox while the Mets play the Dodgers. Meanwhile, in soccer, Michael Bradley and David Egger have joined Team Canada as guest coaches. Bradley is a former coach of Toronto FC, while Edgar played for Team Canada in 2011. From 2011 to 2018. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. We have a brief intermission before Jody Shelley joins the show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Hope you had a great weekend. Stanley Cup Final, Games 1 and 2 in Edmonton. How about that? Wednesday and Friday at Rogers Place, along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. I'm pleased to welcome back to this show a guy I absolutely love talking to, longtime analyst in the National Hockey League, Blue Jackets, NHL Network, just an all-around great dude, former player Jody Shelley checking in. Okay, first of all, I put the hoodie on as a joke early in the show, Jody, and now people want me to keep it on the entire show. That's why my hoodie is over my head, okay?
How did you know I was asking that in my head, Reid?
I know you well enough.
Well, I like it. I like the attitude that's come with it. I feel like I was listening to your last segment about Lord Stanley, and it's really you're determined that has to be the Stanley Cup.
Yes, and when I'm determined about something, just ask the listeners. It doesn't go away. We're having a lot of fun today. I have a question for you about fun, but are you golfing? Like, are you mid-round?
No, my son and I teed off at 11, so now it's 5 or 6. So we played 18, and then we jumped over to a par 3 course, and now we're just hanging out at this par 3 course. There's no one around, so we just said, "Hey, It's a beautiful day. We'll stay." So.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on the course.
Okay, but I was hoping you weren't like missing shots. Though it would have been great if you would have had to get up and hit an approach shot mid-interview. That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
I could.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe we could wrap this up. You could hand the phone to your son, and you could show us your swing. That would be.
I could do that. He's over there putting right now.
Okay, let's make that happen to finish this.
We'll
can you
gladly do
imagine
that.
if you hit a hole-in-one live on the Reid Wilkins show?
I would fly to Edmonton and give you guys a hug if I did that.
Well, and he has relatives here, so he has a place to
take
stay.
Reid's hoodie.
Yeah.
I would take Reid's hoodie as well.
Get my hoodie. That'd be incredible. If you don't mind sharing, how old is your son? And is he is golf his thing, or is he into hockey or what? Yeah, okay.
Hockey, high school hockey, and high school golf. Owen, he's 16 years old, so he's just heading into his 11th grade next year, and he loves the golf. So we spend a lot of time in the summer playing it, which is great for me.
And he didn't
Not
want
good
to
for
follow.
my game.
He didn't want to follow in his dad's footsteps with.
He plays hockey as well. Yeah, he plays hockey in the winter, and then switches over to golf in the summer. Great combination of sports.
What style of hockey player is he?
He's more of a finesse player than I am. He's got better hands and he's smarter.
Well, you're too hard on yourself.
It's just the truth.
You're very intelligent, and you used your hands in a very specific way.
Yes, and now I still skate, and those hands are long gone. I used to have hands when I was 15, 16, and 17, and I guess once you put them on the shelf to do what I did, they never come back.
Well, Jody, that's actually an interesting topic because, the style that you played in the NHL, but coming up the ranks, I mean, you were the best player on every team you played on. And then when did you realize or discover that you were going to take this different path and that was going to be your style of play?
It's an amazing story, actually. I grew up all over Canada, Vancouver Island, Newfoundland, and in the 7th grade, I ended up in Nova Scotia playing midget B. We practiced when I was 16 and 17. We practiced Monday nights from 9 to 9:50, and we played 2 games on the weekends. I never worked out. I just played hockey, and the guys on my team used to smoke cigarettes and drink hot dogs between periods. And there was this training camp coming to town with the Halifax Mooseheads, and I had went to a summer camp, this Hockey Night in Boston's kind of selects camp. I made a team in New Brunswick, and I went down with this Hockey Night in Boston from Team Maritime, and I was on the draft list when there was 20 rounds. And so they were inviting everybody to camp in Halifax for the Mooseheads, and they said, "Who's this guy in Yarmouth?" Invite him, because they were inviting 90 guys to camp. So when I got invited to camp, I ran into this guy who was playing college at Dalhousie, who had played in the OHL. And he said to me, there's a couple guys that are touting around town as tough guys, and they're not very tough. And I said, that means nothing to me. I mean, I was 17, I was 18 at the time, just graduated high school. I said, that means nothing to me. He goes, well, I would try some boxing maybe when you go for camp. I said, okay. I took some boxing lessons, didn't know what I was doing, still just a big hockey player. And first day camp, I fought this guy, Moose DuPont's son. His name was also Moose DuPont, and I did okay. And I was a local guy. So I thought that was it. So 3 days into camp, one of the coaches pulled me aside and said, Jody, we've got about 60 guys here that play like they're 5'9". If you want to play like you're 6'3", you might have a shot. So then the light went on and I started fighting and I never stopped.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Jody Shelley joining us on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm going to ask you, and so we have fun on this show. You've been on my show for several years. We always like to laugh and tell stories before we get into the hockey stuff. And Chris Knobloch yesterday was asked about sort of the attitude of his team and Connor Brown jumping out of the cupboard there to read the starting lineup before one of the games. And Chris Knobloch said, we're a focused team, we're a serious team, we're a mature team. But he said, I also see guys that know how to have fun and embrace camaraderie and playing a sport for a living and all that kind of stuff. You were in a lot of dressing rooms. Can you maybe discuss, or maybe you have a story, I don't know, but sort of that balance, right? Like it's a profession. There's more and more money in it for these guys. They got to be sort of a product and have a brand. Some of them, the bigger names. But for crying out loud, you're with 20, 23 other guys. Most of them are in their 20s. Could you sort of take us into that room and that balance between, okay, focus on the game, but we got to know sometimes when to have a laugh or do that kind of thing?
You know what? It is still just a bunch of kids playing hockey. It really is. And I don't care what level you are. I just think that the lower levels in pro just don't have as much bells and whistles, and even junior. I think junior is a lot like pro. You're just a bunch of kids playing hockey, and the hotel rooms are still fun. The locker room is the greatest place to be. And that's the one thing every player that's retired from any professional league in hockey, maybe any sport, you miss the locker room, the guys, the hanging out, the breakfast, the fun stories. When I was in San Jose, Joe Thornton was a big, massive child. That's all he was. And we wanted to be at the rink. We would get there and leave late because he loved the boys. He loved the stories. He had our media guy, public relations guy. He was determined to get him to shower with the boys. All year, this was the story. And wouldn't you know it, later in the year, in the dog days, he said, if you guys win tonight, I'll shower with the boys. So here we are. Joe's in the shower first, screaming like a kid. And we're all in the shower with our media relations guy, and he's in there showering with us. It's all the fun stuff like that you miss. It's great. Being on the bus, guys missing the bus, guys late, guys fooling around, and there's just so many great pranks, and it's such an important part, that the bond of being in that locker room. And of course, when the game's on, it's the game. It's the game. You're focused. You're uber focused in the playoffs. Everything matters. It's urgency, but it's the stuff around, the guys that step out, the personalities in the locker room. I think that's a lot that's lost, with some of the players, is that those guys, I think teams are looking for guys with personality that go against the grain. Torch used to say it all the time. He used to love Hartnell. It was a love-hate, but Hartnell knew how to look at him and give him a little look that drove him nuts, and he loved it.
Jody Shelley joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. On to this series, the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah.
I've seen this again. It's happened throughout the playoffs, and it's when all the experts go ahead and pick the opposing team that the Oilers are facing. In this case, Florida. I'm seeing it over and over and over again. That's not surprising because, I don't think the Oilers have been picked by the experts for any of the series. But what is surprising to me is that I'm seeing a lot of recurring themes in why they're choosing the Florida Panthers. And a lot of it has to do with the depth of the Florida Panthers and how the depth of that team is going to outplay the depth of the Oilers. And I'm sitting here scratching my head saying, have any of these people even watched the Oilers play this playoffs? Because the depth to me, and I want your opinion on this, Jody, but the depth for the Oilers is what's carrying them right now, is it not?
Yeah, it is. You know, I love the way the Oilers built throughout the playoffs. They got healthier. They got through that LA Kings series, and they kind of found themselves, and they found their defensive game, and they all figured out what they had to do to play as a team. My only concern is the goaltending position in this series. I go back to when Crosby lost in Game 6 to the Detroit Red Wings early in his career, and then the next year won in Game 7. And I remember Fleury made a save in that Game 7 Stanley Cup win, his first one. To me, that's going to be the margin of error in this series. I think this is going to be one of those series where Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the pictures and the comments we saw last year after the unmeasurable disappointment they had in clawing back in that series, that has stung them every second of every day. And now here they are back on that same platform. I think they will try to take this series over. But I think that any leaks or cracks in that goalie position for either team is where this is going to be won or lost. Depth, I find it even. I think it's even depth. I like the way guys are positioned now. Perry's in the right area. You're going to miss Hyman, of course, but you're going to maybe get Brown back. I just think guys all understand what the task is here right now, and I think that is going to give Edmonton Oilers that edge, just like it did with the Penguins when Sid got his first cup.
Yeah. We're looking forward to it. It feels like it's been a long wait and still 48
why
hours.
So long?
Plus.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me why are we waiting a week? Can you tell me why?
No, I don't know. Actually, that was another one of my complaints I didn't get to in the last section. Was
what are we doing?
The length of this. Well, last year, Jody, like the Game 7 was on June 24th. Like the days were already starting to get shorter already. Like, and you know how awesome it is here in you know how awesome it is in northern Alberta with the daylight. And it's like, so it's like, hey, the season's over. Oh, well, summer's in the second half already, basically.
Yeah, that's right. Right. Time to get the sweater out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, buddy, I'd love having you on the show. As you know, we'll bug you again. Thanks for doing this sort of mid-round with your son. Sounds like you've had an awesome day with him. Enjoy the Cup final, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Enjoy the run. I hope I'm there for the celebration. I hope you guys get it done this year. So enjoy every second, and let's get it started. Let's get it started here.
Right on. That is Jody Shelley checking in from a par 3 golf course in the Columbus area. I love him. Like, he's the best.
Yep.
One of many great guests, but he's down to earth. He's fun. Rolls with it. Mid-round. Like, he could have been like, no, I'm not doing your show. He's like, no, I'll just do the show from the golf cart. Really
That's
good.
like the simple pleasures of life is getting out. Like for him, his son's 16, getting out for a round of golf with your son.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you live for. Those are the days you live for.
And that great story about how he became a heavyweight.
Yeah.
In the NHL. His coach said to him, "You want to play like you're 6'3"? We'll have a spot for you. Well, you want to play like you're 5'9"? Yeah, you're not getting on the team."
But that's the thing is you look at the guys like that, or like a Paul Bissonnette, who was they had their roles in the NHL.
Yeah,
but growing up, they were the best players on their team.
A lot of them until a certain age,
right?
Well, like look at Louis DeBrusque's Jr. We should bring him up. Now, but Jody was a little different, right? Because I think he wound up playing CIS for a little bit. I think I could double check. But like Louis DeBrusque, so 1 year for the London Knights, Louis had 31 goals and 64 points in 61 games. Also had 223 penalty minutes, right? But still, I mean, he was over a point a game player. Jody Shelley.
Yeah, he did play for Dalhousie.
He went to Dalhousie for a year. So how about this stat line, everybody? I just want you to let this sink into your brain. In 96-97, Jody Shelley played for the Halifax Mooseheads in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. He played 59 regular season games, had 25 goals, like pretty good. He's scoring every 4 to 10 games about. And he had 44 points. So he had 44 points in 59 games and had 420 penalty minutes. He had is averaging 8 penalty minutes per game. But this is, the biggest myth, and I think people who are hockey fans know this, but probably the biggest myth, maybe people who outside of hockey who don't really follow the sport, the biggest myth is that the guys who fight are meatheads. That is, I'm sure there's some that are, but that's generally a myth. Generally, the guys who fight are the guys who were pretty good hockey players, but reached a point in their careers at which, hey, you're not going to make the NHLer as a top 9 forward. You're skilled in the junior or the American Hockey League. You want an NHL paycheck, though. You're big enough. You got to help out your teammates. And I know that there's been a lot of tragic stories that go along with that and already, but you have to have in dedication, and a lot of times dedication is a form of intelligence to me, to say, okay, or perseverance or bravery, to say, okay, I want to play in the NHL. I want that NHL paycheck. And to do that, I got to know when I'm in this city, I might have to fight this guy. When I'm in this city, I might have to fight this guy. This guy's coming to my rink. He's going to want a piece of me. You got to be willing to live that lifestyle.
Well, and you have to be able to accept it as well and say, look, if I want to carry my career on, I have to take on this role. I'm not going to be the leading scorer on the team.
Yeah.
Right. So that might be hard to deal with as well. As I said, coming up through the ranks, you're the guy on most of those teams.
Well, look at from the sport you played, U Sports, I guess it was CIS when you were playing, stars, and they want to play in the CFL. Forget about the NFL. They want to play in the CFL. Well, I hope you can tackle because you're on special teams.
Right.
Oh, you were the best running back on Western? Great. You might get 4 carries a year with the Toronto Argos. I hope you can get 20 special teams tackles, though.
Jared Winkle was our running back.
Great point.
He was a Heck Crichton nominee, for goodness sake. That's the best player in CIS football. The Eskimos at that time drafted him and wanted to move him to fullback and played him at fullback in special teams. Never even had a sniff at, and he accepted his role. But that guy was, you'd think you'd try that first. But at that level, when you're playing against the caliber of players that they have, that's a spot that you're going to give to an American player.
Yeah.
So if you want to play that, you better learn to tackle and learn to block.
Yeah. But Jody's a great story. He was one of those players who, when he was a teen, the McDavids of the world are exceptions, but even a lot of guys who wind up going in the first or second round, they probably are already getting a sense when they're 14, 15 or whatever, I got a good chance to be in the NHL that someday. Jody wasn't like that. He's a great analyst. He's an awesome guest on the show. Interesting what he brought up, because we haven't talked about the Oilers' goaltending as much lately as a problem, because Stu Skinner's been very good. Well, let's face it. Except for the first 2 games, you really, against LA, you can't really find much to criticize. Even a couple of games, Pickard led in 3 or 4. He won. And, I know a couple of the losses with Stu, you can say this, and this, but he's got 3 shutouts and he's winning more often than not. But Jody brought up, is Skinner going to be able to offset or outplay Bobrovsky?
If the Oilers are playing the way they have, Skinner just has to do what he's been doing, which has been consistent.
Right.
But that again, though, Reid, is the ghosts of the Oilers' past still haunting them, and maybe not looking at what they've been doing as of late, because they are on a heater, and this team's streaky. They've been streaky for quite a while now, and if they're streaking at the right time, which they are right now, it doesn't really matter who you throw out.
Yeah, and now, as we've been saying, it keeps narrowing and narrowing. So now it's win 4 out of 7. This isn't, look at the schedule for January and the first 3 weeks of February. No, who cares?
Do you think
4 out of 7?
Do you think they're going to make a point of getting to Bobrovsky? Physically getting to him?
Well, I think they should just play him like they have every other goalie.
Well, they didn't. Aiden Hill, they went after that because they saw him snap. I don't know that they did as much of that with Jake Ottinger.
No, maybe not.
But I guess it depends on the goalie, right?
Yeah, and I can tell those plays shaped up. I'm sure if Evander Kane were in the crease against Ottinger, he would have done the same thing. He wound up doing a hill on that goal Henrique scored. But, yeah. Jay and I are in the banquet studio. Every Monday, bowl for just $2 all day at the Banquet Bar. Walk in, grab your friends, and start your week with some fun. Get real, play hard. The Banquet. All right, we're having a blast. If you're just joining us and you're on the YouTube stream, so I'm wearing a hoodie. I put the hood on the hoodie up as a joke, and it was decided I have to have it up the whole show. So that's why
you've made it through an hour, so you might as well keep going.
I'll easily make it through the entire show.
But like flip it forward, like do the whole thing. Like if you're doing
it's a bit in the way.
Lean into it.
It's perfect. I look a bit unsavory though with it all the way forward. Do I not?
No.
Do I look like I can be trusted when I have it forward like this?
It just builds into the lore. It builds into it. Well, who's under there? What is that person?
Who's under there?
Who's sitting there?
It is Reid. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us the thumbs up. Keep clicking that like button. Okay, so we're over 100. Next plateau, 155. So for double word of the day, and then we want to get to at least 200, which has been an incredible playoff streak. Oilers are in the Stanley Cup final, so I think everybody should be highly motivated to get us to 200 thumbs. All right, we have Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. We have Buying or Selling for Damon Bunting. We have Fired Up for Gemco. Steve Hogle from the Riverhawks. He's their director of fun. He's going to be on the show as well. We got to ask him about that title. That was his idea. To me, that seems like somebody higher up in the organization, and he's pretty high, like Randy Gregg. Because I feel like if your boss said, "What do you want your job title would be?" and you said director of fun, they might be like, "Really, really."
Well, this is baseball, though. I mean,
it is minor league.
It's minor league. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, well, it's not even minor league. It's college summer league.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Ronnie Oceanfront says to me, you look like you'd know how to hotwire a car very quickly. In all seriousness, if I would be the last person you would ever want hot wiring or doing anything to fix a car. I know where the gasoline goes. That's about it. And the key to start it.
Amos Moses says, I would like a rematch between Optimus Prime and Megatron from Transformers, the animated movie.
Because Optimus Prime dies in that movie, does he not?
The fight had 8-year-old me so effing worked up.
Yeah. I just spoiled something else for Coop. All right, that's our off-topic topic. Which rematch would you most like to see? Here's the 4 o'clock break, everybody.
The Lock Shop. We're 2 days away from the Cup final. How are you feeling about where you think this series is going to go?
Well, first off, I'm excited for all of you. Envious, a little jealous. But hey, man, this is such a great series. If we're talking about a Game 7 and a tight game in the third period, who am I putting my money on to be the guy that makes the difference? The guy in orange that's wearing 97 or 29 as well.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian-owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL. Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits. Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
In Tampa, the Lightning have re-upped 33-year-old Yanni Gourde to a 6-year contract extension worth nearly $2.5 million per season. Gourde was retained by Tampa Bay from Seattle midway through last season, recording 31 points in 57 games. From Carolina, Jesper Foss has announced his retirement from hockey. He suffered a neck injury in the season finale of the 2023-24 season, missing the entire year for the Hurricanes. Meanwhile, in Toronto, 33-year-old Jose Urena has cleared waivers to pursue free agency. The right-handed pitcher joined Toronto on a 1-year deal in May, only suiting up for 6 games. And the schedule tonight has 7 games. Angels and Red Sox go at it. Mets and Dodgers duke it out, while the Padres meet the Giants. Colorado and Miami open up the night with first pitch at 4:40. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Pull your hat down or pull your hood down and just start bobbing your head and come up with a beat.
What do you mean come up with a beat?
Do a rap. Yeah. Go on, Reid.
My name is Wilkie, and I find that milk is the key to strong bones. You got to be strong to score on goalie Bob. Maybe shoot one off the knob of his stick as you're trying to lift that cup for oil country.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah.
That was not good.
And that was...
Let's go, girls.
And that was Reid Raps, presented by...
Yeah, that'll never happen again. How you doing, everybody? Thanks for checking out the show today. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Zachary Kubish is here as well. If you have the video element on YouTube, I'm wearing the Play Alberta hoodie today. And on a lark, I put the hood up, and we decided I got to have the hood up for the entire program.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure will, we got through it with one. Get Steve Hogle will understand.
He's the director of fun.
Yeah,
if anybody should understand a bit, he would.
He knows I'm a weirdo.
Reid, I got a really good limerick that came in from Dudley in the River Cree Resort and Casino text line. On Wednesday, the puck's going to drop. In Edmonton, noise, nonstop. We'll cheer, maybe jog, while drinking a dog. Then watch as the Panthers get mopped.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Jody Shelley meant to say drinking a coffee, and he said drinking a hot dog.
Yeah. Somebody else, Troll, said, did he just say drinking hot dogs, or am I hallucinating?
No, he did. Well, Jody said, hey, for two guys who often, like the number of times you've said to me, did you mean this? Like, oh, what did I say? We could forgive Jody. We're telling a great story, by the way. Because what was he saying? That most of his teammates were smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee during intermissions. So again, what we were talking about, Jody was at age, 13, 14, was not on an NHL path. He wasn't on the traveling team. Do they still call them traveling teams? Or do they just call that AAA or...
I think AAA
or the elite?
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, well, Evansburg had one team, but if you knew somebody in Edmonton, you'd be like, oh, my son made the traveling team.
See, they would say rep team when I was coming up. You made the rep team.
Rep team. Yeah, I guess they would. Yeah, when I was a kid, traveling team, because you were either kind of traveling team or house league, I think. Not that the house league teams couldn't travel. It's like, don't leave your city. Park the bus, Jablonski. What is that?
There's some meme out there of Kermit the Frog, like doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. Coob, look at this picture. It's in, yeah.
Oh, Coob has it? Okay.
That's from JCD.
Someone made me look like Kermit the Frog. That's awesome. That come in on the text line, the afternoon inbox, 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special. That's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. We're going to have Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta a little bit later on. In a couple of minutes here, we'll get to some Oilers clips. Did you have any more off-topic topics right now, or do you want to compile them for later?
Yeah, well, I'll keep compiling.
See what else we get. Which rematch would you most like to see is our off-topic topic for William Huff. We've had some funny suggestions along those lines as well. Again, if you're watching us, first of all, however you are consuming us, we thank you. Maybe you got us on a podcast. You're watching us in the future or listening in the future. audio streams, you have iHeartRadio, you have TuneIn Radio. Those are great apps. We're there on those. Easy to find, easy to make a favorite station. And if you want the video element on YouTube, give us the thumbs up. Click that like button and send the link to other people and say, heck, check out this show. Give them a like. We need 85 thumbs for 200. But don't delay. Get in there and do it. We need 40 for double word of the day.
Give him the song.
Oh, you want the song?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give him the song.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Thump, thump, thump.
Should do that as a rap.
We could get Josh to rap it, or Coob,
Click,
I guess.
click, click.
Coob
Must
raps.
click. Please, please click. Must you
Did you
click.
say bust a click?
Yeah,
You gotta
sure.
bust a click?
Bust a click. Coob, are you going to throw that picture up of what would we call this Reid character? Is this Kermit the Reid?
Kermit the Reid here. I can't do the voice.
Does look good. What was that for? Was that like a spoof
I have no idea. I'm not familiar with this.
that the Muppets did with Star Wars? There it is.
Maybe.
That's the original one.
Oh, okay. That doesn't look like... Oh, that's his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, are those his eyes? What's going on? Okay.
What happened to Kermit?
Yeah, he's all different. Muppets was a great show.
Muppets? Yeah. It was okay. It was great.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
What was the other one? The underground people.
Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
That's what.
The garbage
Yeah.
heap was the Oracle, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was pretty funny too.
And didn't they have to stay away or keep out of the dog's sight? Wasn't the dog?
Oh yeah, Renfrew, was that the name of the
Yeah.
dog?
He
Yeah,
would-
because the dog was he mean to them, or he was the only one who could see them? Or he
I
was
wonder
gonna
how many
tip him off.
What were their names?
Oh, I don't remember.
What were they called? Fraggle Rockians?
They were called Fraggles. And I
Fraggles?
think Fraggle Rock was their home. I think.
Right. I wonder how many Fraggles that dog took down.
Yeah, that's in the director's cut. Got a limerick coming in here from... Who is this one from? Bronco Nick. These hockeyless nights are trash. Hard waiting for the final clash. Twiddling my thumbs while drinking some rums. Hey, y'all, give the likes a smash.
Beautiful.
Pretty good from Bronco Nick. Do you find it... Why isn't this starting tonight?
Yes. I mean, they could have started this easily last night, at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Rogers Place's availability. I mean, look, they got to get one team to the city. I suppose there is some of, okay, do they want to schedule the final ahead of time? Even though both teams were up 3-1. Well, Panthers were actually, they were up 3-0. You still don't know exactly when it's going to end. But man, oh man, Game 7 would be June 20th, which is 4 days earlier than last season. And then usually there's an extra day off for traveling. This time there isn't between games 4 and 5, but there is between 3 and 4 because they got to schedule around the NBA finals as well. But yeah, it's too bad they can't just say, let's just start it. But it is the Cup final. They're having the media day tomorrow and all that kind of stuff.
Think of it this way. Why would the NHL give a rip what anybody thinks? Right? This way, there's extra time for people like us to sit around and talk about their product.
Sure.
Instead of talking about the game. They're not going anywhere.
No.
They're still the topic of conversation, specifically in Edmonton. Well, mostly in Edmonton and Canada. So they just do whatever they want, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes it feels as if, okay, we love hockey. In this city, it's king. Oilers are kings. But, man, oh man, you kind of want to get it going, eh?
Well, it is, yeah. There's definitely anxious to get the series started. See what this team looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right.
I heard a lot of suggestions this morning on the Hangout that Game 1 is going to go to the Florida Panthers. That was Benny's prediction. That was Dash's prediction. I don't understand that.
Well, what were their reasons? I heard a little bit of that.
I don't know. Like, it was just because of the excitement and pressure and the energy surrounding the situation that they just assume that Florida's kind of come in and deflate the arena.
I don't know about that.
Reid, I just, and you and I have talked about this a lot. This is just a different Oilers team. It is. And fans, trust in that process. That's all you can do now. But why to think that they're just going to give away home ice advantage in game one when this team has done nothing to suggest the otherwise through the last, 3 rounds?
Yeah.
Correct?
Well, I mean, they lost game 1 to Dallas, but then they won the other 4 games. So it's not as if they were terrible the rest of the series. Talking about the schedule, Erico says all to make Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday. Yeah, but they aren't, though. The game 5 would be on a Saturday. That would be the only Saturday game in this series. Right? They're going... I wondered when we got word that the Cup final would start Wednesday, I wondered if they were going to go Wednesday, Saturday in Edmonton to have a Hockey Night in Canada game on a Saturday, but they aren't doing that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Wow, and speaking of schedule, I mean, this schedule came up pretty aces for EST, right? Because on weekend games, we can't cover it. The reaction or the build-up.
Yeah, we do our pre- and post-game show, but we don't have the full day elite. Yeah, for sure.
Right? So there's only one weekend game.
That's true, and that would be game 5.
Yeah.
In Edmonton. Maybe the series won't last that long. Who knows? Just saying. All right.
That hoodie's changed you, brah.
Let's dive into the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel? Understood. Okay, a few clips we want to hit on here. Where do I want to start, Jay? I had a plan, and now I see why I want to get you. You know what? Let's talk about this. Chris Knobloch was asked about his thoughts on Matthias Ekholm's first game back there in Game 5 against the Stars.
His first game, he exceeded expectations. And when I say that, just because you never know what you're going to get from a player coming back from an injury. He'd been out for weeks, and then to come in to play against Dallas, who's a good team, high-paced playoff game. You know, he looked very comfortable, made a lot of nice plays, and looked a lot like we're accustomed to seeing Eki play, because he's a heck of a player, and you never know if he's going to be able to pick that up right away. It looked like he was able to pick that up right away. He played, I believe, 15, almost 16 minutes that night. Can he play some more minutes? Absolutely. Can he play 30? Probably not there yet, but over 20, yes.
All right. Also, the way the Oilers' defense core is structured, now it always depends on game flow, but I don't know, do they need somebody to play 26, 27 minutes? I mean, the third pairing, as it's often listed on the depth chart, is Wallman and Klingberg.
Yeah.
That is not a pairing you have to hide.
No.
You know, that's not, oh man, our third pairing is like a journeyman who can hardly skate and a 19-year-old that doesn't know what it's like to be in the playoffs. The third pairing is Wallman and Klingberg. So, I mean, they can have pretty even distribution. It was interesting, and I was listening. I didn't cut every single clip, but I was listening to all the availabilities today, and both Ekholm and Knobloch kind of referenced that, and then we talked about this. Tom was bringing this up too. You know, there was some thought, is Ekholm going to be back, like, at all? And then for him to come back in the third final, in the conference final, even for one game, was considered kind of a luxury that he was able to come back for that.
Well, and now there's 6 more days worth of rest in between for him. I mean, he's probably getting very close to, not 100. I don't think anybody's 100%.
No, probably not.
Year, but feeling more and more comfortable with his injury. But yeah, I mean, you look. Let's put it this way: you don't want to have at this stage of the game a defenseman playing, those upper top level minutes, those 25, 26, 27 minutes, right where they are, and rolling those lines is the best place you can be in.
Yeah. And like I said, they got Klingberg and Wallman. Playoff Bouchard, as we've talked about a lot, is different than regular season Bouchard. And Kulak and Nurse, I mean, a couple moments, in that might have been Kulak's toughest game of the playoffs against Dallas. I mean, he actually gave the puck away a couple of times. Like it was because he gave the one away where it turned into a goal, right? And it was like, wow, that's almost stunning.
Took that penalty too.
He took a tough penalty, but I mean, generally Kulak and Nurse have been quite reliable and doing well in their roles. So yeah, the defense core has been really, really good. All right, we got more clips. Let's do more clips because there is some interesting stuff. We got your play of the day coming up. Here comes the Coob with the sports update.
Two-time Stanley Cup champion Yanni Gourde has signed a 6-year extension with the Lightning worth nearly $2.5 million per season, and the 33-year-old was reacquired by the Lightning last season, recording 31 points in 57 games split between the Kraken and the Lightning. Meanwhile, 33-year-old Jesper Foss has announced his retirement after missing the entire season with a neck injury he suffered in the final game of the 2023-24 season. Foss played over 700 games split between the Rangers and most recently the Hurricanes. And out east, Jays right-hander Jose Urena has cleared waivers and will hit free agency. The 33-year-old signed a one-year deal with Toronto in May, appearing in only 6 games for the club. Tonight, the Mets battle the Dodgers, the Angels, and Red Sox meet while the Twins and Athletics go at it, having 7 games around the league. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. More Oilers discussion brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to the Banquet and dive into banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL. Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits, Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Sounds like the theme music or something that should be played in a scene in Stranger Things.
Yeah. Or, yeah, it does. It's a very 80s
and then
poppy,
somebody
80s slow pop.
Just before somebody gets murdered by an alien or a...
I've only seen the first season of Stranger Things. There was that creature in the Upside Down or whatever.
Apparently, they just released the trailer for season 5.
The final one, I think.
I didn't see it. But
Is it still a good show?
I watched them. It's dark.
You're caught up on it all.
Weird. Yeah, it's I don't know why.
Is it the same group of kids?
Oh yeah,
they got to be in their 20s now, though.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still the same group of kids now. I haven't seen that trailer.
Oh, but you've watched the end of season 4.
Yeah.
And is it the same group of kids then?
It was.
And are they still in high school or are they older?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Is
I think they're
Ryder
still in
it?
school. Yeah.
Is David Harbour still in it?
That's the guy.
The guy? Isn't that David Harbour?
Yes. The guy, like the policeman?
I think so, yeah.
What was his name?
I don't remember. I only watched the first season. It was good, but I didn't think it was awesome.
He had a good name on that show. What was it?
Like a neat cop name?
Yeah.
Are you looking it up, Coop? Coop's got it.
Wait.
He's got quicker fingers than Matthew Broderick in War Games.
Jim Hopper.
Jim Hopper. It's a good cop name.
That is a good cop name.
What do you got?
Yeah.
I don't know, Chief. Hopper, I've been setting you out.
Hopper, I'm sick and tired of this.
The angry chief.
I think he was the chief. I think he was.
Oh, he was?
guy.
Okay, sorry.
You know who wasn't in it?
Jablonski?
Yes. And the other guy.
Who? Will Ferrell?
That guy.
Rudy. His name's escaping me. His real life name.
Sean Astin?
Yeah.
Sean Austin? Is it Astin or Austin?
I think Astin.
Why would he be in it?
He was in an earlier season.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Oh,
I don't
spoiler
know.
alert.
Oh, yeah. Now it's all spoiled for me. Now I could never watch it. Trev in the Nasty Chat, our colleague, still in high school. Can't wait to watch season 5.
Trev's still in high school. Wow. Good for... if he's still...
Well, and you work here.
Yeah.
And he's 26.
I guess, you know what, Trev? I admire that you just are still grinding it out.
Get that diploma, Trev.
Get it. You never
That's
know
a
what
good point.
when you're going to need it later in life.
The way he wrote it, he could mean that he himself is still in high school.
Good for you, Trev.
Not the characters in Stranger Things.
Finish the job.
Oh, my goodness. What a joy we're having today. We're coming up on the halfway point of the program. If you're watching us on YouTube, hammer that like button. Give us a thumbs up. We need 70 more to get to 200 and keep our playoff streak alive. 24 more to get to double word of the day. I had a good week last year with the word of the day. I was happy with that.
Well, last year we wouldn't have been on air, but last week
what did I
did
say?
have
See, that's why you can't get mad at Jody Shelley for saying someone was drinking.
Oh, nobody was
We
mad
talk
at Jody
all the
Shelley.
time. We plan very little. It's not like we're reading off a script. It is now 4:26. Hey Jay, what did you think of that game on the weekend? Wow, wasn't that something?
What a great question, Reid. I appreciate your insight.
Give the weather. Oh, sorry. It's sunny outside. What else are we doing here?
We should do a scripted show in the summer. We should write a show.
Script the entire show,
Yes.
no matter what.
And we'll have a teleprompter. And we'll act out a show as if we're acting out our own show.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
And we could have submissions for
very
scenes
difficult.
from the Nasties. Right? Like the Halud crew could write a scene.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we could do something like that.
Big Uke could write a scene.
We'd have to vet them ahead of time, though.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they would be. All right. Oil Understood here for GCL Diesel. I know it's a storyline that we've talked about a lot, but there were some interesting comments today, sort of about the Oilers' experience and comparisons from last year to this year. Chris Knobloch, the head coach of the team, was asked to compare the mood this year to last year.
We have a different mood. One, last year was new to us. We didn't know what the Stanley Cup Finals was going to be like. But also the way we went into this, Game 6 against Dallas, we didn't play our best game. We did win it, but it wasn't our strongest game. A little bit different. Game 5, we had the lead throughout. Felt good about that. But I think we're just with probably the biggest change, the mood is just, we've been here before. We've done the press conferences. We've answered the question about what it's like to be in the Stanley Cup Final. We know what to expect. We've seen this team before. There's a lot of familiar things about this. So I think everyone was just I don't want to say regular thing, but we're accustomed to it.
What do you think of that?
I couldn't agree more. That just having that 1 year of experience under your belt, and entering the Stanley Cup final on a heater, playing the best hockey you've played all year is quite encouraging. And it does mean something. Absolutely. You?
Yeah, I think it goes along the lines of what Connor McDavid said last week. He's like, well, it's not boring and it's not easy, but it's becoming familiar, which I hopefully is encouraging to Oilers fans, that the team is saying, like, yeah, going to the Stanley Cup final is familiar or expected. But I think it's just one of these many things about how hard it is to win in the National Hockey League. And they have beaten some, I mean, Dallas fans are probably sitting there saying, well, 3 years of the conference final, how has that experience helped us? Well, it might have helped you through the first 2 rounds, and the margins are thin between winning or losing. But yeah, there is sort of that sense of don't panic. Okay, we know what this is going to be like. Hey, we know what this is going to be like. Yeah, sometimes things are going to be hard. It's like, what did Gager say a couple of weeks ago? You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Oh, the other team has the puck. Okay, well, yeah, they're going to have the puck. Oh, it's overtime. Okay, yeah, well, some games not go overtime. Let's stay calm. Ekholm was also asked what makes the Oilers different from last year.
The biggest thing is just what we just talked about, is the experience part of guys being calm in situations that are pretty stressful, and being able to deliver under pressure in that regard too, right? Like, when you've been there and you've seen it, there's no real surprises along the way. There's always going to be a different story that's going to be written, and you have a different team. You have all the things that happens in the playoffs that you got to withstand, so to speak. But if we look at our team right now, like just look at some of the bad breaks that we've had or tough starts to the LA series, but we bounce right back. And then you look at that bounce at home against Vegas, like it's a tough bounce, it's tough for a team to get, like, but we bounce right back on it. And same thing in Dallas, like we play a really good game one and then it doesn't happen for us, but we bounce right back again. And I think that's the biggest strength of this team, is just every time we seem to have our backs against the wall, we respond and we play our best hockey and bring it the next day. So I think that's a big part of what I think makes us a bit different, so to speak.
And he listed some of the things we have talked about, Jay. And this has been a great playoff run for the Oilers. I mean, they're 12-4. They're 12-2 in their last 10. I mean, really, you could say they rarely lose this year in the playoffs. Now, there's a very difficult opponent in series between the Oilers and the ultimate prize of getting Lord Stanley. But this is the thing. Leon accidentally scores on his own net. They lose in the last second. They take stupid penalties and allow 3 power play goals against the Dallas Stars. Those were crushing losses. But the Oilers have done more things that have crushed the other team. Hyman scored with 3 minutes left in game 1 against Vegas. You get a break on a call in overtime and score in game 2. You beat Vegas in game 5 and over. So the Oilers did more crushing things to the Dallas Stars, and they did more crushing things to the Vegas Golden Knights and ultimately the LA Kings. And this is one of my themes that I have often discussed over my run as a talk show host. And I'm going to say it today. And I know on the surface, it's going to sound maybe counterintuitive, and it quite frankly might upset some people. But let me explain, and let me use Ekholm's comments as an example. And I think, Jay, you may not agree with me, but I think you'll see where I'm coming from. The players do not take the losses as hardly as hard as the fans. What are you talking about, Reid? It happened to them. I'm just a guy on my couch. I'm just the gal in section 210. They should be furious when they lose a hockey game. Got a secret for you. Generally, they aren't. Or they are for 10 minutes.
That's the one there.
Right? So the emotional investment, of course they're emotionally invested in it. It's their job. It's their profession. It's their lifelong goal, dream since little kids to win the Stanley Cup. But they don't get angry the way you get, right? Like, they don't go home under a pseudonym in the nasty chat and go off on the refs and their teammates and the other team. It is different. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. Well, they should be upset. They should go home and sit about nothing else. But the difference is they can do something about it. Right? And their experience of playing in the game is different from your experience of watching it. I truly believe that. Well, why doesn't the coach come out and yell at the players? Why doesn't Stuart Skinner come out and say he's a terrible goalie? Why doesn't this guy come out and say the PK sucks? Because, guys, they've fixed things before in their career.
Can I add to that?
Of course.
That I 100% agree with you. But it's not that they don't care. It's not that they're like, oh, well, we lost that one. They care.
Yes.
But as a professional athlete, you have to leave that in the locker room and move on and not dwell on it. And that's hard to do. But that's why professional athletes are who they are. They have they're able to throw things out relatively fast.
Right.
Good or bad.
Yes, good point.
Right? Because if you get the big win and we're fired up and it's game 1, well, there's still 3 more games you got to win.
Right.
So you can't rest on that too long. Yes, you can enjoy it for the half hour after the game, or you can hate it for a half hour after the game, but you need to move on.
Right.
And you can't carry it with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I mean, Leon Draisaitl's expected to be the second best or best player on the team, even. Certainly one of the best. Tip the puck into his own net. Okay. Like, what do you want him to do?
It happens. Move on.
So he said, yeah, goofy, I can't remember what he said at the time. Kind of, we didn't handle the play very well. I tried to block it. It went in. Okay.
Which is a credit to those athletes to be able to not just fly off the handle.
But that's the perfect thing. Like they were still up 2-1 in the series. So who do you like? I get it. I'm not blaming any fan for being emotional. I mean, that's the joy of being a fan, is that you get to go along for the ride and maybe sometimes overreact one way or the other to emotional situations. But who would you sooner ultimately cheer for on a team? A guy who, like Leon Draisaitl, who comes out and says, okay, yeah, well, close game. I messed up. We messed up. You got to win 4. We still have 2. They have 1. Or a guy who's like, well, that's it. I score my own net. I'm done for the rest of the series. I've checked out. Hopefully we can advance with me being a flake, and I'll reset in the conference final if we make it. Well, I mean, I know what we're saying sounds obvious, but I do think sometimes it needs to be heard, because you and I are all about enlightenment, keeping people calm, joy.
Spiritual guidance.
Spiritual guidance.
Yes. You look like you could offer spiritual guidance.
I look like I could guide maybe a flock of sheep.
But what was one of the greatest football dynasties of my lifetime?
Pats?
And yours, Pats.
Yeah.
What was Bill Belichick always known for saying?
On to Cincinnati.
Bang.
Or nothing, basically.
Nothing.
Never admitting anything was wrong.
Good or bad.
Never admitting anything was good.
Not acknowledging anything.
We have some things to work on.
Right. But that's not how he was with his players.
No, of course not.
But that team embodied that same philosophy. On to Cleveland. On to Pittsburgh. Right? It's next man up.
Yeah.
No matter how it worked pretty damn well for them.
Hey guys, here's the 3 plays we screwed up on the weekend. We're going to work on them.
Yeah, be better.
Yeah. And as I remember Todd McClellan also said this too, sometimes you have to catch your players doing things right. Hey guys, here's film. Milne, where were you on this play? You got to be over here. Milne, see this play? Great job getting in the gap. See what he did there, everybody? That's what I'm teaching you guys.
Yeah.
Do that. Anyway, I know we're sort of talking, but I do think sometimes like we want to spiritually, what do we say? Enlighten, guide, alleviate. We want to alleviate your spiritual tension.
That sounded great.
Matthias Ekholm on defending the Florida Panthers.
Well, you got to be alert at all times, and especially on their forecheck. They come hard with a lot of guys and a lot of bodies, and if you can be quick on going back for pucks and make that, it's when you play a team that's that strong on the forecheck, it's about making that one play or win that one battle, and that makes you can make that next play, and then things seem to open up more. So just got to be alert out there and try to, I guess, anticipate the next play before it even happens.
I like that. Anticipate the next play before it even happens. You got to think quick. And this is what makes this series so fascinating, besides all the rematch angle. And I mean, there's so many storylines to this. The rematch, the McDavid trying to get a cup, Draisaitl getting a cup, Canadian team trying to get a cup. But then it's just, beyond that, it's 2 teams that now sort of play the same way. I mean, I don't remember saying it about the Oilers last year, even though they were obviously a very good team, that they just want to get in on you and destroy you. Like they want to just bash away at you on the forecheck. Florida can do that when they get rolling. The Oilers can do that. Like it's kind of almost going to be like who's going to play their style better, or who can play it for longer, maybe, would be a better way to look at it.
Yes. And that's a great point because but look at this team, Reid. I mean, look at John Klingberg. How impressive he's looked with getting the puck out of the zone and getting it to your offensive superstars.
Yes.
That is a great point by Ekholm there because that will be a key to this series, no doubt.
All right, let's get to Jay's play of the day. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting we got a little bit of sound for this. This is fun. It is Jay's play of the day.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
Even me.
For Play Alberta, why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery, all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today.
Okay, we're going to go to baseball. Now, here's the thing. This play is not up yet. So Maddie's working on getting it up. Hopefully it gets up. If it's not, you can still ride with Jay because this will still go to my total. You know, I'm keeping track of all these,
right?
You know, all these plays. So here's what, and you know what? I did consult with somebody today.
Oh,
I consulted with the Big Uke.
Oh, titillating.
And I just said, look, I'm gonna make a play on baseball because I know he's part of the D-Gen Den.
Oh, is he? Okay.
And those psychos bet a lot of baseball.
Okay,
they do. So I said, what do you think of this? So I pitched it to him. He said, let's go. Let's go. Dodgers, LA Dodgers win plus over 9.5 runs. So 10 or more runs. That is currently at plus 181. So the Dodgers to win. They're playing the Mets at home.
Didn't they beat the Yankees 18-2?
They've been putting up a lot of runs.
Yeah.
The Dodgers could get that over total on their own.
Right.
So that's the play of the day. Dodgers win, totals over 9.5. So 10 or more runs. That is at plus 181 over at playalberta.ca. It's not currently up on the EST specials, but hoping it will be. And it might even get boosted. But if you want to ride with me, you can go over there and make that same game parlay on the Dodgers as well. And the new promo codes are out. So deposit $20 to get a $50 free sports bet using promo code EST Sports. And this is for new and existing players. So if you got the codes from May, these are new codes. Go ahead and why not? Get that free $50 bet. I mean, on this, that would be huge.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? And there's also the EST Casino. So deposit $20 or more to get a $50 casino bonus using promo code EST Casino.
All right. That is Jay's play of the day. Oh, hang on.
He's Jay.
I muted myself.
I really like this jingle.
It's play, it's Jay.
Hitting the wrong button.
It's play, he's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Where's the yeah coming from?
Coob throws that in.
Oh, Coob throws that in.
I love how he says, "Day, it's Jay's play. It's Jay."
You think he sounds British?
Day. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's Joe Elliott from Def Leppard.
Play of the day.
All right. 780-218-9999 is how you text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com or Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. If you're taking us in on YouTube, continue hitting that thumbs up button. We hit a bit of a stall there. I don't know what people got slow
like
Monday thumbs today. Got a case of the Mondays. Let's get a rally going here with the thumbs up. Let's quickly get over 155 for double word of the day, and then we'll focus on getting to 200.
That lull.
Which we should be able to do, but we had a bit of a lull there.
It happens
oddly enough.
with briskets, too. There's a lull. When the fat is rendering.
Really?
And it's cooling the meat down, right around 170. You'll see that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
But always pushes through, Reid, just like we will, buddy.
Buying or selling for David Bunting. Coming up, here's the Coop.
Down in Tampa, the Lightning have re-upped 33-year-old Yanni Gourde to a 6-year contract extension worth nearly $2.5 million per season. Gourde was reacquired by the Lightning this past season, potting 31 points in 57 games split between the Kraken and the Lightning. Elsewhere, Carolina's Jesper Fast has announced his retirement after missing this entire season with a neck injury he suffered in the final game of the 2023-24 campaign. For the Jays, right-hander Jose Urena has cleared waivers and will hit free agency. Urena was signed to a 1-year deal by the Jays in May, only playing 6 games for the club. On tap, there's 7 games in baseball right now. The Rockies and Marlins are runless in the first before the Brewers and Reds clash. The Tigers face the White Sox and the Mets play the Dodgers. Meanwhile, in soccer, Michael Bradley and David Edgar have joined Team Canada as guest coaches. Bradley is a former coach of Toronto FC, while Edgar played for Team Canada from 2011 to 2018. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting is what brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre-game and post-game shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre-game and post-game shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Wholesat, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Oh my. What are we, like 50 hours away from the Cup final? Something like that? Ish. Sure, why not? Oh, where'd the music go?
What happened to the music?
Just cut out.
The record stopped playing,
okay.
boys. Sorry.
It did sound like a record.
Our record player's done.
You, have you ever cooked a brisket, Reid?
No, not in a slow cooker like you do, or not a slow cooker, a
smoker.
I've slow cooked stuff. I don't know if I specifically had a brisket. I don't have a smoker though, so no, not in the way you're asking.
But I mean, for you, you could cook a brisket and then freeze it.
Yes,
pull it out and that'd be good.
Bring it to work.
Feed you for weeks.
It would feed me for weeks.
You want me to cook you a brisket?
I'm fine for food, but I appreciate it.
Do you cook a lot?
Not anymore. No.
If I lived where you live, I don't know how much I'd cook either. Because everything's walking distance.
Yes, there's a lot to walk to.
Lots of options.
Well, I was walked to get takeout the other night.
We just got skip the dishes in our in our neck of the woods out by our Drawson earlier this year.
Yeah. Oh, it wouldn't come?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know, Uber won't come to my place.
I
can't call
Why
an
not?
Uber. I can take an Uber home.
But an Uber will not go to your place.
No.
Why not?
I don't know. They don't believe I exist.
That doesn't seem fair. I feel bad for you.
I feel bad for me too. Like on Saturday, we went to the Whale and the Wolf concert.
Right.
Excellent, by the way.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, should we call a cab? And April's like, no, I'll be okay to drive. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
But there's one like option. And it's this guy out of Sherwood Park. And if you're from Sherwood Park and you would know of Les's taxi service.
Okay.
His name's Les.
That's awesome.
And he drives I think it's an old Crown Victoria.
Okay.
He's been doing it for years, probably 30, 40 years.
Right.
And it's just a number. You call him and he's like, yeah, okay.
He just comes and gets you.
I'm just dropping somebody off here on White Ave. I'll come back out. So we could have used Les's taxi. That's how bad it is. I can't call an Uber. I'm not really
surprised at Uber because it's not as if you're way out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I'm like east of Sherwood Park enough. Like 5 minutes.
I guess.
It's not far. Like for me to get home from here, it takes me 25 minutes.
Yeah, like it's not an insane amount.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
Well, thanks. That makes me feel better.
I'm glad my sympathy has brought you joy.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into buying or selling here. It is presented by our good buddy Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. All right, I have one for you here, Mr. Milne.
Woo-wee.
Now, as you know, there have been a lot of talk about the Oilers, and we were just playing clips along the same lines. The Oilers' experience this year, last year, all that kind of stuff. But I want to get to something Leon Draisaitl said yesterday. I'll just kind of play the clip, and then I'll tell you where I'm going with it.
It just comes with experience, right? Like last year, the Vancouver series was really emotional for everyone, just through two Canadian teams. The media blowing out, there's just a lot of components that went into that series. I think if you ask everyone, they'll say that series felt like it took years off our lives. But I think we're just a little bit more mature and know how to be in those situations and know how to stay even keel, as everyone talks about. So so far it's obviously worked in our advantage.
Okay, so here's where I'm going with this, Jay. Do you think it was to the Oilers' advantage to not play another Canadian team in the postseason?
Ooh. Well, I guess I'd buy that, Reid. I guess I'd buy that it was an advantage. But I guess we'll never know.
No, true.
And what Leon Draisaitl's saying there is that maybe they bought into the hype a little bit too much last year and got too excited and too high and too low. But this year, maybe that wouldn't have happened. But that is interesting.
Like, was it just exhausting to play the Vancouver Canucks? Not just because the Canucks were a good team, but just everything going on around the series. You know what I mean? Like, two Canadian teams, fans in each other's markets. I mean, I'm sure the Oilers players probably had to deal with crap in Vancouver, out on the street or walking around or at a hotel. Who knows? I've told you what it was like doing a call-in show with Canucks fans making an effort, some of them obviously, making an effort to be trolls about stuff. So I just wonder if everything going on around that series added to the exhaustion for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm just wondering.
Well, okay, I would just say that I think maybe last year they allowed themselves to get involved in that, maybe in some form, and get. He said it was a extremely emotional series,
right?
Well, you shouldn't really dive into the emotions of it all that much outside of the rink, outside of those 60 minutes you're playing. So I appreciate when Leon speaks like that, Reid. I really appreciate his honesty and his openness about situations, right? Like, that's an answer. That's a thoughtful answer that he gave to that question. And that is very appreciative. But it also shows the growth and the maturity. And what he said, they have a lot more an even keel. I mean, the things they're saying right now are showing just the process.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Right? Yeah, they seem very just under control.
Yeah.
Just they know what the job is.
Very good.
Before you give me mine, I got a limerick here from Tube Socks. The season's dragged on past its prime. Still no final. It's practically a crime. June's knocking. I'm vexed. Is it this week or next? They're delaying it one more damn time. Yeah, well, yes.
I got one from...
Hockey season goes well into the good weather season.
From VR Montenegro. We might as well go back to back.
Let's do it.
Who I saw at the Whale and the Wolf concert.
Oh, nice.
On Saturday. He had a nice chat with him. He's going by Video Recorder Montenegro today.
Very good.
2 more days to wait with extreme excitement brewing. Panthers are here for a cacophony of booing. Knob says Connor is fine. It's his series to shine. Caution, kids. South Park is not recommended viewing.
That's very good. That is very good. Yeah, who were we saying I was with when I had my hoodie all pulled? I know I have my hoodie up, but when it's all pulled all tight, that was Kenny.
Kenny.
The one that would get killed every episode. Yeah. And then did they finally not bring him back at one point?
Oh, you're asking the wrong jabroni.
It's been years since I really watched South Park, and I didn't watch it that often. All right, you got any buying or selling?
Buying or selling. You're more interested in the NBA Finals this year because they're 2 small market NBA teams.
Yeah, I would say maybe a bit for me, and because there's a Canadian in it.
Yeah.
I don't watch a ton of... I do enjoy watching the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Regular season so much, but with the Oilers playing every second night most of the time, that's my focus. But I would say with a Canadian, and that it's not, Celtics, Lakers, or whoever, that, yeah, maybe this one's a little bit more appealing. I watched a lot of Game 6 between the Knicks and the Pacers. Thought the Pacers looked very good. I thought they're just a better defensive team than the Knicks and were better around the rim. And I'd like to see the Canadian kid play a bit. So, yeah, I think... Now, again, I'm not saying I'm going to watch every game.
They are on off. Like
they're not up against the Stanley Cup final, but I also have to balance other things in my life. So if a buddy was like, hey, do you want to do this on a night during the NBA finals? I probably wouldn't say, well, I got to watch the finals. But yeah, I would say I'd be more interested in the NBA finals this year than in other years. And perhaps the 2 markets. And I mean, that Indiana, like that field house was built for basketball, right? That's not a all-purpose building, right? That is a basketball-only facility, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing a couple plays of the day on this. I still think as good as Indiana was playing or is playing, I think OKC is just a different animal. But, here's an interesting note. Indiana has allowed the fewest fast break points in the playoffs thus far. You know who's second? OKC.
Oh, interesting. You got to get back and defend.
So this could be a track meet. This could be one of the most entertaining NBA finals. Really, I mean that. Like, it's just the matchup is so good. Okay, another one on your read. Oilers are 6-1 with a plus 16 goal differential, 56% on the power play, 83% on the penalty kill.
Sorry, what was that first stat?
At home through the first 3 rounds.
Okay,
the Oilers are 6-1.
Yeah.
Plus 16 goal differential, 56% on the power play, 83% on the penalty kill at home.
The power play is over 50% at home?
At home, yes.
Great, okay.
On the road, the Panthers are the 8-2. Plus 27 goal differential, 43% on the power play, and 86% on the PK.
Wow.
So the Panthers are extremely talented on the road.
Yeah.
Thus far. The Oilers are pretty damn good at home.
So the only game they lost at home was the final second loss to Vegas. Right.
Buying or selling with that knowledge, game 1 and 2. Let's just go with game 1. Will be a low-scoring defensive grudge match.
Well, I would expect most of the games to be low-scoring in this series. But, I mean, what would be high-scoring? 5-4?
Oh,
would 4-3 be high scoring?
Yes.
Or
I think for this series,
over 6.5.
Well, let's just see here. What do they have as the over for game 1? 6.5. Yeah. So, and based on what the odds look like an over is even money, an under is minus 133. So they're, the odds makers are expecting an under.
Right.
But you could say that. So yeah, a 4-3 game would be, I think, a high scoring affair.
Yeah, I'll say it'll be lower than that.
Okay. One more for you before we go to break. Buying or selling, the Elks were underwhelming on Friday night.
Well, I only stayed for the first half because I was kind of worn out.
Yeah, but that's when the starters would have been one-on-ones.
I wouldn't say full-on underwhelming. There were some good plays. I like that they gave the ball to Rankin, and then Leak got some carries as well. Ford made a couple really good throws, and Dunbar had some good plays. Thought Ford had a couple plays that were underwhelming. I would say the Elks, I would sell on that. I would say they were okay with the starters. And I'd probably say the same thing about BC starters.
Well, it's a bit of a trick question because, in my opinion, it doesn't matter.
Not really.
CFL
you're not doing the full. You're not doing the full playbook.
No, they're playing next week.
Yeah, it's not like JC Sherritt. It's like I have the defense that's going to confuse Nathan Rourke.
Right.
It's not going to show it to him in the preseason.
You just got to go out and play at that point. You're not going to stop Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions, but you're going to want to go toe-to-toe with them.
Right.
And, sure, was it nice to get a win at the end of the day? Yes, it was nice for Dusty's play of the day. Picked the Elks to win. I rode with that all the way to the bank. So there you go. But yeah, it doesn't matter till the Bullets are live.
All right, Jay and I are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Make your birthday epic at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a vibe you won't forget. Book your party now at thebanquetbar.com. We're going to get fired up for Gemco. People love going to Riverhawks games. You can do that starting tomorrow night. Steve Hogle from the Riverhawks will join us as well. It's the 5 o'clock break.
The EST Hangout.
You look at like John Klingberg and Kulak and Walman, like these guys are not looked at maybe as highly as the Florida guys are.
They're going to be underestimated.
They're going to be underestimated, but like when you're like us and you've watched this team, this whole playoff run, you go like, that's a very, very capable playoff defenseman. Klingberg to me has been the biggest surprise for me in this playoff run. It looks like he did in Dallas.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the Banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
In in Tampa, the Lightning have re-upped 33-year-old Yanni Gourde to a 6-year extension worth nearly $2.5 million. Gourde was re-attained by Tampa Bay from Seattle midway through last season, recording 31 points in 57 games. From Carolina, Jesper Foss has announced his retirement from hockey. He suffered a neck injury in the season finale of the 2023-24 season, missing the entire year for the Hurricanes. Meanwhile, in Toronto, 33-year-old Jose Urena has cleared waivers to pursue free agency. The right-handed pitcher joined Toronto on a 1-year deal in May, only suiting up in 6 games. And the schedule tonight has 7 games. Right now, the Rockies trail the Marlins 3-1 at the end of the first. Angels and Red Sox are warming up. And the Brewers and Reds are just about to get underway. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. Jason Milne singing along to himself.
It's hard not to.
Song he recorded about 23 years ago. Amazing stuff.
My youth.
The band, this is Brody, the second band. North Shore. North Shore. Sorry, Brody was first, then it was North Shore.
Yep.
Right. I was going to say second incarnation, but it wasn't a different incarnation. It was the same band with a different name.
Yeah.
All right. We're having a great time today. Stanley Cup final coming up on Wednesday. Really hope you're enjoying the show. If you have been a long time or regular listener, we appreciate you. If you're new to the show, we appreciate you as well, and hope you're going to stick around for future programs. One thing we like to do is to get as many thumbs up as possible on the YouTube stream. Okay? Now, we appreciate if you're on the iHeartRadio or TuneIn. We know a lot of you people. Like, I actually, when I'm at home, I'm more likely to just put my phone on and listen as opposed to sit and watch on YouTube. Yeah,
I just put it on YouTube and just have it on in the background.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I put it on iHeart and then have it on in the background. Yeah, so sometimes if there's a guest on the Hangout that I haven't met, I'm like, oh, I didn't see you. I won't have seen them yet. Anyway, that's what I do. But however you consume us, we thank you. But if you are taking us in on YouTube, there's that little under the video screen. There's a thumbs up button. Give that a click if you haven't already. Thumb at Southside Stovey. Just put in the nasty chat.
You know, they play a certain brand of hockey.
Oh, wait a minute. I played the wrong clip. Hang on. Vander Kane. We don't want you talking right now. We need this. We need this.
Click.
We need
must
this.
Must you click? Please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
And Colin the Amishman made us this.
Sub. Must you sub? Please sub. Must you sub? You must sub.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel. And on my cousin's choir did this during a postseason game. So that was still in the first round. That might have been game 5. No,
that was early.
That might have been game 4 because I think that was before my eye surgery. Yeah, that might have been. But I think it was a game they won, was it not? I think it was game 3 or 4 at home against LA, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was.
I think it was. Yeah, it might have been.
Is that going to be your memory of these playoffs? Is the eye surgery?
Oh, that's good. Yes, it will be. That'll be a huge part of how I remember. Like when people say to me, "What do you remember about the Oilers playoff run in 2025?" I'm going to say, "Well, I did 2 things. Maybe they win the cup, but going through this with having eye surgery during the first round and then having."
You should just say,
I mean, my vision is not back to normal. I know I feel like you're sick of me talking about it.
No, I'm not.
But it's sort of dominated. Like it's it's a big deal. When you can't see normally when you're awake, it sort of wears on you after a while.
Well,
I've despite as much as I've had some kind of down days about this because it's just irritating.
Well, it's like you don't realize how much you need something until it's not there.
Right.
Like if you've ever broken your pinky.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize how often you use
and
your
I
pinky.
am improving.
Yeah.
And I am going to heal. And I had a checkup with the ophthalmologist on Thursday or Friday. And he actually said, you are healing perfectly.
Wow.
It just takes a while.
Sure.
And I'm still not driving.
The major surgery.
I wouldn't be comfortable driving. So yes, if 10, 20 years from now, 30, if I'm still kicking, if somebody was like, oh, what do you remember about the Oilers playoff run? I'd be like, oh, well, that's the year I had a retinal detachment in the first round.
Well, then you should always say, and I tell me what happened in the series. I can only see half the ice.
I still don't know what happened. Who won? I can only see one net. Can you imagine that? This whole time I was just doing shows with no idea of the scores. Well, some people might think that I have no idea what's going on.
I don't know that. It's a little harsh, Reid.
All right. 30 thumbs away from 200. So do not delay the pleasure any longer. Get in there and click. Coob, have you clicked? Coob doesn't even like the show.
I'm delaying the pleasure.
Coob's not a fan of the show.
My thumbs are busy right now, boys, but I'll give both of my thumbs up.
So just over the weekend, I went to the first half of the Elks game. It appears that Rankin's going to be good. I think their O-line is good.
Well, need to look at that.
Ford made a couple of good throws. A couple that maybe weren't so great. Well, he took an intentional grounding, but I also wondered because on the intentional grounding, he was like kind of backpedaled and then just finally tossed it away and it flew out of bounds and it didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah. And I wondered, okay, if that's a regular season game, does he try to run?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
The linebackers, Anderson was flying around again. I think the D-line will be good. Who's favored to win the Grey Cup? I haven't even looked at stuff. Is it Winnipeg again?
Oh, no. I think it would have to be Toronto, right?
Okay.
But let me find out, Reid.
Was it just last year? Was that the Arbuckle game last year? It's all a blur to me.
Yeah. Winner. Toronto Argonauts are favorites at 250, plus 250. The Elks are second worst at plus 1,200.
Ahead of who would be ahead of Ottawa?
Calgary.
Calgary.
They have Ottawa almost half the odds as Edmonton, which is striking. Don't matter. I'm still riding with Edmonton.
It's a tough league.
It is a tough league. I've been fighting to get Justin Rankin on the most outstanding player on Play Alberta, and I'm waiting for it to happen because I will attack. I'm a believer.
But didn't the Elks take a lot of good players from the Argos?
Yeah, like their entire defensive line.
And didn't we get our defensive back as well?
Yeah. Metier.
So we got a third of their defense.
The Elks starting safety is Metier, who is from Toronto. Very well spoken. We should get him on our show.
Question then.
Yeah.
Well, we should get an Elk probably on Thursday because they'll travel Friday, right? Yeah, we'll try to get an Elk on Thursday. Okay, then what's the... And I'm not saying there shouldn't be questions, but why would the people making the lines look at the Elks and say they're still going to miss the playoffs? Quarterback still?
Recency bias.
Well, I guess that too.
Right? They've stunk. They barely got 7 wins last year or 8 wins.
They got 7. And I guess the last 2 were after they were eliminated.
And you're just looking... But that's the crazy thing, Reid. In the CFL, a team can switch on a dime and go from the bottom of the barrel to highly competing next year, the following year. So it's kind of a crapshoot. I still think they're at plus 1,200. That's still a incredibly good value.
Right.
And look at all the changes they made. They addressed every position that they were not deep in. They added depth at every position they needed in. The only uncertainty for me, Reid, honestly, is Trey Ford. If Trey Ford can be consistently good, I'm not asking Trey Ford to be great.
Mm-hmm.
If Trey Ford can be consistently, and consistent is the key here, good, I think the Elks have a real chance to turn some heads. But he's the wild card.
But they have a good backup with Fajardo.
They do.
He hit a deep throw on Friday night.
They do.
All right. You want to do Fired Up now?
Yeah, let's do Fired Up.
And then we'll get Steve Hogle on. Fired Up. for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street.
Well, it's Monday, Reid, which means over the weekend, my 10-11 Packers had a big football game, and we destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals.
You didn't have a conflict with an official in this game?
No, officials were great.
Good.
We whooped them 38-6. It was magical. Here's what we found. We found our offensive setup and our players on offense, and we found our defensive setup.
Oh, nice.
And they were flying around. I mean, those kids were flagging everything that moved. Rose, my daughter.
That's what you call a tackle, a flag?
Yeah. You can call it a tackle. It is a form of,
it's a form of stopping
the play.
Right.
My daughter, Rose, QB1, 3 touchdown passes.
Oh, nice.
Which in that league is pretty impressive. She was throwing the ball all over the place. It was awesome. It was exciting. The kids were so pumped. It's like one little guy on our team, Axel, got an interception, and that doesn't happen all that often. And he's looking at the sideline like, what do I do? I'm like, Axel, run that way. So he ran. He deked out a couple kids too, and he scored a touchdown.
Pick 6.
Yeah, he ran through the end zone. He kept running. It was Forrest Gump.
Well, you didn't tell him to stop.
No, I'm like, you're good.
Yeah, you scored. You scored. End zone's the same.
It was really cool.
That's
to see.
awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome. I have I'll make fired up one of my other complaints. And usually I don't care about this, but because now the Oilers are playing Florida, I'm going to find things to pick at.
Okay.
All right. So your logo is a cat, and another thing associated with your team is a rat. Those things don't go together. Those things do not go together. I know the whole tradition of the rats and Scott Mellenby, and it's kind of fun. And now don't they shoot rats at Marchand and he pretends he's hurt after the game?
Right.
Enough.
Yeah, they're mortal enemies.
You got a rat as basically your mascot, even though they have another mascot. But as like the part of the Florida Panthers imagery is a rat, right? It would be like the Calgary Flames and they throw buckets of water on the ice.
That's true.
It'd be like the Montreal Canadiens, but like their mascot is somebody in an American flag, right?
Yeah,
it'd be like having a team in LA named after a state with a lot of lakes. Oh wait, that actually has happened.
Well, I mean, we have a Lynx. The Oilers have a Lynx.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because it's to do with Northern Alberta. Because it's to do with Northern Alberta. There's lynx.
Okay.
There are lynx everywhere. You don't have any lynx in your neighborhood? I got a lynx that lives on my front step.
Hey, I was saying, I went for a run this morning. I saw a fox.
Oh, you're going to see a lot of wildlife, especially where you are.
He ran right in front of me.
I had coyotes crossed right in front of me in the river valley.
We startled each other.
Running.
He's like, whoa, where'd this human come from?
He's like, Jay, what are you doing? Was he startled?
Have you ever heard a fox scream?
No, why would I?
It's awful. It sounds like death. Coob.
I thought you had some joke here, like
no.
Michael J. Fox screaming in a movie or something.
If you have ever heard a fox, it's like they're protecting their den or something. I've heard it at night. It's like a bald eagle screech. It's terrifying.
And when did you cause this to happen?
I've heard it. We have
you didn't
foxes
attack
in our neighborhood.
You were trying to take a fox's baby?
No.
Yeah, so when you're trying to take a fox's baby and they scream? No, Jay, I don't actually.
It's terrifying. Honestly, it's the worst. It's the worst sound.
Oh my god!
It sounds like someone's getting killed.
Oh, this show is so much fun. We need 24 thumbs to get to 200. Look, guys, it's. I don't know what the delay is. Really, I'm a little startled by the delay. So if you haven't clicked the thumbs up, you got to do it. You got to share the link with other people.
Yeah.
We should start doing Name the Animal again.
Yeah.
Like, Chorus doesn't own it. Kellen Kennedy might be upset.
Isn't that an awful sound?
See, and that would be great, because if we did that for Name the Animal, again, I always think bird.
Yeah, that's a creepy.
After the cup final, let's start doing Name the Animal once a week.
Okay.
So Coob will come get an animal.
Well, then I should go find like somebody from like a pet store that could partner up with that.
Yeah, sure.
It's Reid's Name That Animal.
Well, it'd be for both of us.
Well, would
we
Coob,
both
okay,
would
so
Coob
would
play,
surprise us
Coob
with an
would
animal.
find an animal and play it, and then we
this.
got to guess.
Oh, I love this.
And then we got to guess. That's so. What we did on Inside Sports was Kellen found an animal, and I would just have to guess it. And if I was wrong, he would start being like, maybe don't think aquatic, or or I'd start asking questions like,
just
is it
one
furry?
animal?
Yeah,
we could do that every day.
We could do more than one.
Oh man, this.
We did it sporadically. We might do it twice in a week and then not do it for a month.
That is an awful sound.
Yeah. That's a fox screaming?
Yes.
See, I never would have thought it would sound like this.
Yeah, I know.
But that was the great thing about Name the Animal. Entertainment and education.
There you go.
That's what you need. We need 20 thumbs. Let's go, everybody. Oh, a lot of people give the thumbs up to the Edmonton Riverhawks. They're getting ready to go. Their director of fun and local broadcasting legend, Steve Hogle. Coming up.
.33-year-old Jesper Foss has announced his retirement after missing the entire season with a neck injury. He suffered the injury in the final game of the 2023-24 season, with Foss playing over 700 games split between the Rangers and most recently the Hurricanes throughout his career. In the NFL, Bryce Huff has been traded, or is being traded, from the Eagles to the 49ers for a mid-round pick. Elsewhere, Jays right-hander Jose Urena has cleared waivers and will hit free agency. The 33-year-old signed a one-year deal in Toronto in May, appearing in only 6 games for the club. And 3 games are live right now. Angels up 1-0 on the Red Sox, while the Brewers and Reds are locked at zeros, both in the top of the first. Marlins are also playing against the Rockies. They're up 4-1 in the end of the second inning. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. The show continues after a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Darren Dreger. You do need to feel how painful it is to lose in the fashion that they did. Game 7 in a tight fought game, and you come out short. Well, you've got to live with that until this point. When I watch McDavid and I listen to Draisaitl, you don't replace Zach with one player, you replace him by committee with that level of physicality.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends, where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL. Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits, Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Hope you're having a great day. We certainly are here. We're having almost too much fun. Yeah. You can text us 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. Oilers start the Stanley Cup final at home on Wednesday. Elks on the road against the BC Lions on Saturday to start the CFL season. Stingers are off and running, and the Riverhawks ready for their first pitch as well. And I'm pleased to welcome back to Edmonton Sports Talk from the Edmonton Riverhawks. He has an incredible... Do we have him yet, Cooper? Not quite.
He's connected here. He should be good to go.
Okay, we do have him. Steve Hogle is checking in. Steve, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing? Oh, he might have to flip his camera around, Scoop. Let's
think. There we go. Hold on a second.
There he is.
Holy moly. We're going a million miles an hour down here. I don't have time to set a camera.
Well, you have okay. I'm going to ask you about your job title, but I look. You know what it's like because you worked in a newsroom for a long time, and you know what we do in the talk show industry. You still got to play the hits. So I have to talk Oilers with you. And before people get mad, and say, "Oh, stupid Reid's having the Riverhawks guy on to talk about the Oilers," let's remember the context here. Steve Hogle, longtime Edmonton broadcaster. Your incredible father, Bruce, longtime Edmonton broadcaster. So you know what it's like to be a broadcaster in Edmonton. And you know, by the way, I told everybody at the start of the show I'd wear my hood the entire show. If you're wondering why does Reid have his hoodie up, I do silly things, as you know. But you worked, and part of this was when I was working on Oilers Now with Bob, and maybe the first year or two I was doing Inside Sports in the Oilers broadcast. You were with, I think it was Kate's group at the time. I don't know if they were OEG at the time, but you were there during these incredible lean years, out of the playoffs, distantly out of the playoffs. High draft pick, still couldn't improve. And I know you loved your job, and people love hockey, but there had to be some PR and ticket challenges. And I know you probably can't open the door on some things, but you were in a different environment with Kate's group than the people with OEG.
And even before Oilers hockey, I went there to work on the arena deal, communications, public relations, government relations. And, in some quarters, people were won over on the concept from the get-go. And other quarters, as you recall, some people were dead against it. And it's wonderful to see what's happening down there, especially during these playoff games. It's absolutely bonkers in all the right ways. And so it's just absolutely electric. And on the hockey, so there were some tough challenges on the arena deal side. It was great to see that finally got done. And Mayor Mandel is a huge champion for the Cates group on that front for sure, as was the rest of council, because it did get through and passed by council. But on the hockey side, there were some tough times as well, for sure. The Nail Yakupov draft, and as fun as he was to watch in a shootout or a penalty shot, obviously didn't pan out, and it was lean. It was lean to see the team finally turn the corner, and I think they're in great shape to take this final. It's fun to watch.
Maybe. Well, you can tell me. Maybe a bit of an unfair question, but I'll throw it to you because that's what I do. If the team had been good, even maybe not this good, but good when the arena deal was going through, do you think that would have made it more palatable, or do you think people were just ignoring how good or bad the hocky team was and looking at the money?
I think it would have helped. Look at the way winning changes the city. It's funny. They lose a playoff game and the city's in a funk. It's like, oh, did you what? And they win. It's like, what? It's crazy. The temperature in the city is just like up and down. It's a wild roller coaster ride. And those guys obviously are pros, and it's a lot more steadier, especially with the coach they have, who is outstanding. But I think if they're winning at the time, it would have helped. All things taste better when the beer is colder, the hot dogs are hotter when you're winning.
All right. To transition to the Riverhawks, and thanks for going into that.
For sure.
Now, I don't know. Now, last year, I was saying to Jay earlier, I didn't talk about Riverhawks as much because I left Ched shortly after the Cup final ended, which was around when you guys were getting. So I don't know if I did a lot on you guys. Were you the director of fun last year? How long have you had that exact title?
We're just transitioning now. First 3 years I was GM, which is a little misleading in some regards because I really have not a whole lot to do with baseball operations. We have some wonderful baseball people, head coach Jake Lanferman, Ryan Gregg, geniuses in baseball and wonderful leadership there. I know enough about the sport to be dangerous, and I'm focused on the business side and community side and the fun in the stands. So, and this year, going into our 4th year, we're just transitioning. You know me. I've made a living out of surrounding myself with great people. I've done it yet again. Those dynamite improv comics we have on the microphones, Graham, Neal, and Donovan working. And then the more inside team, the brains behind the organization, Maddie Murdoch's doing an absolute bang-up job since she joined us from Concordia University, Gerard Murray from McEwen. So wonderful people that we're gearing up with, and we're just transitioning, and they're just taking on more and more and doing it better. So bottom line, it's like anything. It should get better year in, year out, and it is.
Steve Hogle joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Steve, as Reid alluded to, is the Edmonton Riverhawks Director of Fun. I just love that title. and it speaks volumes about what you guys are doing there. And I want to know who was responsible or what group came together and said, the focus here is not necessarily not on baseball, but you make that such an entertaining evening or game day to the point where people have compared you to other major sports organizations in the city saying, well, how come the Riverhawks can do it and they can't? Where did that come from? And then were you a part of that process of just deciding, well, the hell with it. We're just going to make this exciting off the field and then the baseball will come. It was kind of reversed, no?
Yeah, it's a real good question, and I can give you a little bit of perspective on that. And as Reid mentioned, I used to run the CTV CFRN newsroom in the West End there. So I've spent my life sort of engaging audiences or working to engage audiences, again, with great teams. So when Dr. Randy Gregg, the managing director here, came to me and said, hey, come run the Riverhawks day to day. And I didn't say yes, because I'm a huge baseball guy. I can enjoy the game as much as anybody. A cold beer on a hot day down on the best land in Edmonton is absolutely heaven sent. But I knew if it was just baseball, we wouldn't have the crowds that we have, there have been a number of teams that have come through that have been largely baseball centric. And we certainly want to take care of the sport and protect the integrity of the sport and do everything to serve that baseball fan. But if we want people in the stands, we're going to have a broader vision, and we're going to have a mandate to be able to pull in people from the periphery. Thus, 27 theme games, thus improv comics on the mic, shtick between innings, all sorts of fun stuff that has the umpires looking at us sideways saying, what's next, guys? And the college players absolutely love it. First of all, they usually play. I was talking to one of our new players from Pittsburgh. He says he usually plays between 30 and 50 fans. So I said, well, get used to 6,000 and our sellout's 9,000. And we've got 2 of them heading into the season. So, it's absolutely electric for these guys to come. And they're our best salesmen. They're why the team has gotten better and better on the year in, year out. I mean, Jake and Ryan have done a wonderful job in terms of, building relationships with various schools. But the players are our best salesmen. They're like, if you want to play summer ball and get your reps in, play in Edmonton. Drop dead gorgeous facility, beautiful land, and the place is packed. And it's so much fun.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, I mean, last year you set a West Coast League attendance record, somewhere just around 117,000. I mean, that's fantastic. That speaks volumes to what you're doing there. But, it's always fun to see the theme nights when they're announced and what you guys got going on. What are a couple of your favorite theme nights, Steve? And once again, is that you and your team that come up with those? And how do you sit around a room, have a couple beers and think these ideas up, or how does it come together?
Well, there's some staples, and I came from the hockey world, Oilers and Saskatoon Blades. So there's some familiarity with staging theme nights. But just to take a step back, again, to give it a little bit of context, people have been coming down here. We tell people have been gathering here for thousands of years, dating back to the indigenous peoples before us. And so that's what we do today. We gather people together, we have fun, and we build community. So those theme nights enable us to reach into various quarters in our community and share this beautiful stage down here with all sorts of groups that might not otherwise get a stage. And so in the process, our fans learn more about that community learns more about baseball, and we share in the celebration. So that's the background, the setting for that brainstorming that goes on. And you know what? It's interesting. The people that I mentioned earlier, a younger demo, thank goodness. So I know what an older demo can enjoy, but really we've catered, as you know, to a younger demo, and they're comfortable coming out. They're having fun coming out, bringing their kids, bringing their parents. Some of them are young adults pre-drinking before they go to White Ave or downtown. So, and it's affordable, it's fun, and the baseball is fantastic. So the brainstorming, the ones for my favorite, I really get touched when we do Baseball Goes Bollywood, and that's with my radio down in Spin, and a couple of wonderful partners. So they allow us to come into their community and talk about what we're all about in terms of having fun, bringing groups together, building community. And so I really am honored to step into that community to be able to talk about us. And we love having them down. We're the first broadcast in Punjabi, in Edmonton. And it was fun to see the other guys follow us afterwards. But, it's that kind of meeting of the minds and sort of kindred spirits in the various communities coming together and having fun. So that one's an absolute blast. Our Love Wins Pride game, when we got drag queens racing across the field and dancing on dugouts. Again, just everybody knows this is a fun, safe, inclusive place to have a good time.
Well, I'm looking, so I'll tell people this, riverhawksbaseball.com, in case they don't already know the website. riverhawksbaseball.com.
Even easier, gohawks.ca.
Oh, that works as well? Okay.
Yeah.
But sorry, Steve.
No,
Jeez,
all good. Either one will get you there.
Yeah, okay. And then you can look at the schedule. You can look at tickets. You can hover over schedule and go promo schedule, and you'll see a lot more than what Steve was just talking about. I mean, you got Gene Principe coming to a game. You got Star Wars night. I'll have to try to get to that one for sure. And just a whole bunch of fun tie-ins and celebrating the community and celebrating baseball. But tomorrow, 7 o'clock, who are you playing tomorrow? Who's this first series against?
We got Victoria in town. And so we like to kick off our season with an Indigenous theme. So we're working with Fort Edmonton and their Indigenous experience there. And we've got wind speaker coming down. We're going to be broadcasting in Cree. And get here early, Indian horse relay across the outfield and in to deliver the game ball.
No way.
And I don't. Have you ever seen that or video of it? It's amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Oh,
they do it at
off the charts.
They do it at the Pinoka Stampede.
It's wild. Those guys phenomenal. Are serious hardcore athletes.
Steve, I just wanted to ask you, is it true that you're having, instead of a bobblehead day, you're having a dogglehead day?
Yeah. It's well done. Iceman, who has become an absolute legend down here, our bat retrieving dog. Gary and Janice are bringing him out every Sunday when we have dogs and cats and all sorts of pets in the park. And so on our first Sunday, so this coming Sunday, you're exactly right. We've got Iceman, not the bobblehead. We've got Iceman, the dogglehead.
Oh, no way.
Fantastic.
Head bobbles and the tail bobbles.
Of course.
Oh,
it's got a wag.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So it's an absolute, he's an absolute rock star down here. This is going to be a killer collectible. The only downside is we don't have enough for every fan. And we know we might get an earful from some disappointed fans.
Well, you got to get early.
Get there
you
early.
got to go there early. This is awesome stuff.
It's not early, and we have to, Maddie did a great job explaining that in our posts. It's not a first come, first serve. So we get everybody through the door. Everybody's going to get a colored ticket, and then we're going to play the elimination game.
Oh, even better.
That is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Steve, thanks so much. We wish the
thank
Riverhawks
you,
all the
guys.
success. Yeah, well, and we'll be talking to you. And of course, I know like at Chet, we'd always try to find a player or 2 or 3 with a good story. So, we'll find that away as well to profile some of the guys, because there are, like you said, we got people there's some Canadian kids, but people coming in. Like, I always love those stories too. It's like, what did you know for Edmonton before the Riverhawks called you? And you get to like, well, nothing. Or I watched the Oilers once. So, we always have fun stories like that. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, and pretty amazing. Like 5 of those guys were drafted by MLB teams last year, and one other guy signed with what was then the Oakland A's. But you guys let us know when you're coming down here, because you've got a great thing going there and great followings as well. Our fans would love to see you. Reid, you've done the circuit down here before, so bring the posse down and let's have some fun.
Okay, right on. Thanks, Steve.
Okay,
We'll see you soon.
thanks, guys. Okay, you bet.
Steve Hogle, Director of Fun. That is actually his job title, everybody. We're not joking around or reminding you that he has a lot of fun, which he does. Director of Fun with the Edmonton Riverhawks. So they start up tomorrow. For some reason, mine says riverhawksbaseball.com, but he said it's gohawks.ca. Maybe I got redirected somewhere.
Yeah, it'll redirect.
Well, it'll redirect.
Okay, so
you can use
Hawks.
either or.
Okay. Had you talked to Steve before?
No, fantastic guy.
Yeah.
Definitely remember him growing up in the city. Yeah, you know a lot of people, Reid. I'm just happy to be your sidekick.
You're not my sidekick. You're the
I am your
co-host of the
sidekick.
show.
I'm Robin to you,
Sidekick would
Batman.
be as like I have a little. If I had like a little Muppet named, or like a little what was the guy? Casey.
Yeah,
from Mr. Dressup.
Yeah.
That just popped up like.
I'd
Why, Reid?
Yeah.
Why do I live in a tree? I'd like to live in the house.
Who was Finnegan though?
The dog.
The dog.
Finnegan was the little gray dog that would talk in Casey's ear. It's like, if the dog can talk, say it out loud, Finnegan, you coward.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steve Ogle's great. Riverhawks do a great job. So they got 6-game homestand to start. June 3rd to the 8th. That's tomorrow until Sunday. Check out their schedule. The promotion schedule is like unreal.
Yes.
Like you might need 2 or 3 sittings to go through everything.
It's one of these
awesome.
things, Reid, like if you haven't gone, just do it. You have to do it.
A nice night down there. Like they got food, they got fun food.
Yeah, and
fun
it's
stuff going
affordable.
on.
It's like the Stingers. Like it's not like you're going to be burning through $300-$400 on a night just to take your family there.
Okay, we need 5 more thumbs, everybody, to get to 200. So I implore you to find them or click that thumbs up button on YouTube. Jay and I are in the Banquet studio. Mondays at the Banquet. That's today. Bowl for just $2 all day. Grab your friends, have fun, and start your week right. Get real, play hard. The Banquet. Steve Z in the Nasty Chat says Oilers in 5. We're going to do predictions tomorrow.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do them tomorrow. All right, some final fun and a double word of the day when we get back.
Carolina's Jesper Foss has announced his retirement after missing the entire season with a neck injury he suffered in the final game of the 2023-24 season. In the NFL, the 49ers are trading for Bryce Huff from the Eagles in exchange for a mid-round pick, while for the Jays, right-hander Jose Urena has cleared waivers and will hit free agency. Urena He signed a 1-year deal with the Jays in May, only playing 6 games for the clubs. And right now, 3 games are underway. The Marlins up 4-2 over the Rockies in the end of the third, while the Angels are smacking the Red Sox 6-0 in the top of the second. We also have the Reds leading 2-0 on the Brewers. That one also in the second inning. Meanwhile, in soccer, Michael Bradley and David Edgar have joined Team Canada as guest coaches. Bradley is a former coach of Toronto FC, while Edgar played for Team Canada from 2011 to 2018. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Almost got caught with my hood down. Vander Kane was asked about any memories he has of watching the Cup final as a kid.
Yeah, you know what? My favorite team growing up was the Colorado Avalanche. So when they won, with Sakic and Forsberg and Heydrich and all those guys and Ray Bourque, I remember watching that as a kid and, them being my favorite team at the time, it was pretty cool to watch them win. So that would probably be the answer for that.
And now Kane trying to help the Oilers win a Stanley Cup. The Cup final starts Wednesday, 6 o'clock at Rogers Place. Jay and I coming to you from the Edmonton Sports Talk Global HQ in the Mayfield neighborhood. Of course, our presenting sponsor is Play Alberta. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instants, and sports betting all in one place. Players get a $50 bonus by depositing a $50 casino bonus by depositing $20 using the code EST Casino, and you get a $50 free sports bet by depositing $20 and using the code EST Sports. And don't forget, use your game sense. Kane was also asked, interesting question today, is intimidation still a factor this deep in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's always a factor. I think it can be a factor. I think it's important to have that aspect to your group because you never know when it can kind of play in your favor. And, these are two teams that, we know them, they know us. We went down to the bitter end last year against them, and I think both teams understand this is going to be the toughest challenge they've faced all playoffs. And, any sort of edge that you can kind of create, could possibly be the difference. So we want to make sure that we can be on the right side of that as more times than not.
Yeah, I mean, Kane's been very good. He's been physical. I mean, most of the Oilers, if not all, have been physical or as physical as they can be. If you're in the NHL, are you intimidated? I don't know if you're outright intimidated, but there might be nights where okay, like this team's coming. Like, I got to make a play. Kind of what Ekholm said. You got to anticipate the play before you. It's almost like you have to double anticipate it. And I think that's both these teams. Both these teams are very happy to bring the body and not back down. And I think that's another aspect that's going to make it a really fun series to watch.
Yeah, I think intimidation can happen still at that level, especially if you're, pulling a Zach Hyman and body checking anything that moves. That wears on somebody, and then they're thinking about you more than, maybe intimidation isn't the absolute best word to use.
But something that you're willing to. I mean, a lot.
If you're aware of it.
A lot is made of Boston beating Vancouver, which, let's face it, they barely did. Like, it took 7 games, but a lot of made was that 2011 series. That Boston was nastier and Vancouver couldn't stand up to it. I don't know if I totally agree with that, because I thought the Sedins were 2 amazing players who were pretty tough in their own way. But yeah, did Vancouver have enough of that element? It's like, okay, we'll get in a scrum. We'll start a scrum. We'll poke at your goalie, all that kind of stuff. But I think the Oilers and Panthers, and the Oilers more than last year, if you want to go to that comparison, and then Florida went out and got our buddy Brad Marchand. Like, these teams, if this team goes into the back alley, all 20 players from both teams are going.
Yeah.
No one's saying, I'm not really a back alley fighter. Like, everybody's going. Tkachuk's going. McDavid's going. Draisaitl's, everybody's going. Even Bush is going now. Bush might shiv somebody.
Shiv. Hey, Reid, our off-topic topic for William Huff today was, which rematch would you like to see most? A couple here, late ones. Dudley. A good rematch would be Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Anakin Skywalker pre-Mustafar? Mustafar?
How do you say it? Mustafar? With the volcano planet.
A battle where both are at full strength mentally, not emotionally wrecked. Tactical Jedi chess with lightsabers.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
And then this one comes in from an unnamed texter, but still taking rematch suggestions. Would love to see Donovan Bailey beat the spikes off Michael Johnson again.
So it's for the winner to win again,
yeah,
not for the loser to get another chance.
That was a fantastic
I like that one. Yeah. I'd like to see a rematch of the 1988 race with no drug testing after.
Well, yeah. Would have been it probably would have been fairly similar.
Well, yeah, I just want Ben to keep the medal.
Yeah, because everybody was.
Because allegedly everybody, except I think that Calvin Smith guy is the one where people were like, he probably wasn't, but who knows?
Right. It's a good documentary they did on that.
Yeah, was that the one 979? I think that's just called 979. The afternoon inbox, by the way, 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. We always appreciate your text messages, and we greatly appreciate your thumbs up on YouTube. We are over 200, which is great. We keep that alive in the playoffs, and we're well over 155. So it is indeed a double word of the day.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Okay, Reid.
All right.
First word of the day, Poganip.
Oh, my God.
Poganip.
Can you say that one more time?
Poganip.
I have never heard this word or anything similar, Poganip. So, my God, I will just go with the very simple spelling from what I'm hearing. Poganip. P-O-G-A-N-I-P.
Oh.
What is that?
Damn it.
Is that from another show?
That was a 6 o'clock or longer.
That was...
Close. Poganip. P-O-G-O-N-I-P.
Oh. Okay, well, I didn't do that badly. I was on the right track. So, what does this possibly mean? Can you use it in a sentence? I'll sacrifice a half point.
He snapped a photo as the Poganip curled around the mountain's edge to obscure the epic scene.
So it's some sort of a...
You might not feel frostbite right away in a Poganip, but the constant damp chill makes hypothermia a quiet threat.
Is it a sudden blizzard? A sudden snowstorm? No? All right. I have no idea.
A fog formed from very small ice crystals.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Might actually use that at some point.
But how? Oh, golly. Second word of the day.
0 points so far, everybody. You're scoring at home.
Second word of the day, proscribe. Proscribe.
Oh, God.
The spelling you should get.
Yeah. Proscribe. Proscribe. I believe this means to... oh, crap. I'm going to be mad if I don't get this.
You can use it. I can
No,
use it in a
no, no. I
sentence.
want to try to get the full point. I believe this means... Okay, I think the simplest way I can say it is to recommend.
Do you want me to use it in a sentence?
Well, I have no choice now.
The town has passed an ordinance that proscribes the ownership of snakes and other exotic pets.
Allows? To allow? No? I'm mixed up.
Simply put, it's to not allow something. Proscribe is a formal word meaning to condemn or forbid
even though it has
something.
pro in the...
It's a trick word, Reid. It's a trick word.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
a
I
cruel
totally
world.
messed it up. Well, I'm 1 out of 4.
To condemn or forbid something as harmful or unlawful.
I'm a complete joke.
Well, that's true.
I shouldn't be allowed to cover the game on Wednesday.
Yeah, take away your credentials, please.
That is a complete...
If anybody from the NHL is listening.
That's a disaster.
Let's go, girls.
All right. Fun show, everybody. More, of course, on the Stanley Cup tomorrow. The live stream resumes at 6 a.m. with the Nielsen Show. Big thanks to Zachary Kubish. He's the glue guy, Jason Milne. I'm Reid. Have a great night.